of DeRidder Dragons football on 95.7 KROK. Sean Larkin with you, Mr. Mike Isles to my right. We have made the trip up Highway 171 into Sabine Parish to the home of the Tigers here in Manny at John W. Curtis Tiger Stadium. And I will just preface the broadcast with this. The AC is non-existent up here in this press box. There are about 5 different rooms, and the Manny radio crew has the window unit in there. So Marion and their broadcast crew, Marion Koff, they are freezing out. Meanwhile, I am about to do this broadcast shirtless here if it gets any hotter. Mr. Isles, how are you tonight?
I'm hot.
Yeah, okay, good. I was going to say, you're not good, because if you're good, you're lying. Because it is miserable up here.
Well, last week, Dragons fan, the scoreboard wasn't lit up.
Yeah, listen, I was about to preface, this is the second game in a row that I've done with DeRidder, and I've had some good ones. Like, a couple of years ago, I did a playoff game that was an awesome playoff game down near Mandeville, but 2025 is not going well for me here on this network. I have week 1, we had no scoreboard, no clock, and now I get to Manny, and we have no AC. And it is, when I tell you I'm pouring sweat, we have no flowing air in this press box. The last time I was here, I told you this, was for a game was in 2022. Rose Pine came for the quarterfinals. It was fine not having a window unit, AC, because it was 25 degrees out there. I was bundled up, but it is not 25 degrees right now. I pray that maybe a cold front comes through around the end of the first quarter, but it does not look like it's happening. But again, week 2 here, a couple of 1-0 teams. We were pretty impressed with what DeRidder did last week against South Bow at home, 42-13 win. It was close for about a quarter, and then DeRidder just really put down the clamps on defense, used a bunch of turnovers, capitalized on those, and just were able to win at the line of scrimmage. South Bow couldn't do anything on the ground. They're going to face a team that did a lot on the ground last week. Manny 1-0, and this is a team, Manny, historically, I've done a few quarterfinal games with them. The standard is quarterfinals, semis, dome. Jeff Curtis was here a few years ago. They've gone through 3 coaches in 3 years. They're looking for a little consistency. They may have it in first-year head coach Tyler Hassel. They go to Logansport last week and run all over that field. They put new turf down at Logansport, I think, twice in the last 4 years. They'll probably have to put a new field down after Manny ran for about 400-something yards on them last week. It was incredible. They had 467 total yards. 29 of those were in the air, which means they went for 438 on the ground, picking up a 35-19 win in week 1. The first win for Manny since 2023. They went winless last year. Again, not to sugarcoat it, they were one of the worst teams in the state last year. Watching the film of that game last week, it is night and day. And a lot of the personnel is the same, but, man, you could tell they're just rejuvenated and ready to go here under Coach Tyler Hassel, who was here on Coach Curtis' staff when they were at the top or near the top of 2A, 3A, Division 3 non-select. But again, the fireworks have been shot off, Mike. The sun is not going down for another 2 hours. But they shoot them off anyways. I was talking to Coach Parmley before the game, and I said I came here in the quarters in 22, and it was, it was a lot, but it was also the time it changed, and it was Black Friday. So fireworks could be used. And then I came for Newman a few years ago, and it was just as bright as this, and they shot them off millions of dollars worth. I told Marion over next to me, I said, you guys shoot off $10,000 worth of fireworks every week. You need to get at least maybe $150 of that and put some window units in each of these press boxes, because it is a hot one. But again, 2 1-0 teams. Somebody's leaving here with 2 wins and no losses to start. As Mike, I forgot to tell you this, but they're bringing a helicopter, is bringing the football into midfield, and there it is, right there.
Well, maybe we better go outside.
Yeah, and catch those blades and get that wind. Yeah, it's about to land there at midfield again, turf field. Just like I said, everything but the press box here at Manny is in pretty good shape. Softball field, baseball field, turf, but the AC is non-existent. I told them, I'm going to slander this program. I mean, it's hot. I don't know if I'll make it. I told you before we went on air, and it's a good thing this is an audio medium and not visual, because I may do this broadcast with my shirt off. I mean, we're awfully close. It is unbelievably hot. I am pouring with sweat, but we're going to try to get this done. And look, the Dragons, they're going to have to get this done. We talked about it last week. Connor Rushford goes down first quarter. They put up 42 still, but They had some more injuries piling up in that game last week. Aaron Woods, the backup punter, we saw him get banged up on the punt. He's in a boot. I told Jasper Peters earlier, you could go down on that DeRidder sideline and you could make a pretty good killing selling medical supplies with a bunch of boots and, guys in slings and whatnot. So Connor Rushford out with the ankle. Hopefully he's able to come back as soon as possible, maybe a couple of weeks. And, again, Aaron Woods is out, so they're going to have some sophomores in there. Matthew Thompson, I believe, is starting at safety. Jack McCann is starting for Eric Woods. He's out as well. Eric Hall, I'm sorry. It's just, look, you got to get the sophomores. You throw them into this environment. And I told Coach Farmer, I said, as long as they ignore, the fireworks and all that, it's just play the game in between the lines. So if they can play like they did last week, and again, it's going to be a little bit tougher because Manny wants to run the football. They didn't throw it much. They didn't complete many passes. They had a couple of shots to complete some passes, but they want to run the football, and that's what they did. And most notably, Daniel Thomas, 34 rushes, nearly he was 10 yards away from 300 yards. So they want to run the football. They've wanted to run the football here for years. If DeRidder can stop the run like last week and get them in a long down the distance, they've got a good chance here to come out with a win and get back into week 3 with 2 wins and no losses. So, again, they've landed the chopper at midfield. I hope they maybe bring those blades in and just put them up behind us right here, Mike. That would be wonderful. But, again, I don't even care if they cut my arms off. At least I'll feel some air because it is non-existent here. But, again, there's 5 minutes and 14 seconds left on the pregame clock. The national anthem's been sung. The players are out. The prayer's been prayed. They've got the helicopter at midfield. That's going to have to obviously leave eventually. But we will have football here at John W. Curtis Tiger Stadium here in Manny. Home of the Tigers. Again, the Dragons and the Tigers getting ready to lock it up. 2-1-0 team. Somebody's leaving out of here 2-0. And we'll take a 2-minute timeout, come back, and we should have the coin toss and the opening kickoff. Again, Dragons and the Tigers from Manny. You're listening to KROK 95.7.
Cecil's Cajun Kitchen in downtown DeRidder is the place to go for seafood, steaks, and good Cajun favorites. With one of the many TVs placed all around the restaurant, you'll be sure to catch your favorite sports while enjoying drink specials to go with fried gator bites or boudin balls. Follow that with a fresh-cut certified Angus steak or some fish tacos. Lots of selections for even the pickiest little eater in your crew. Then your crew can finish up with some fresh beignets. You can even party it up on the patio on Friday and Saturday nights with live music. Cecil's Cajun Kitchen, always ready to help you have a good time.
You need a bank like a great oak tree with roots that run deep in the community and wide branching arms that give you comfort and relief knowing you're covered from the storm. Beauregard Federal Savings Bank is there for you. Their roots run so deep they've been serving the DeRidder community ever since 1948. Their staff have been trained on the same values of quality customer service and personal treatment since the bank's founding. From loans to debit cards to IRAs, online banking, and other services, Beauregard Federal Savings Bank, 337-463-4493.
Jackson Hewitt makes taxes feel like a yacht rock song.
April breeze, give me my biggest tax refund, please. You, me, and a lifetime accuracy guarantee.
And now get $100 just to try Jackson Hewitt. Does your tax person do that?
Say goodbye to that no guarantee tax guy.
Ready to sail through tax season? Go to Jackson Hewitt and you'll be
Breathing in the refund.
limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
September is Library Card Sign-Up Month, and the Beauregard Parish Library invites you to discover how a single card can open the door to endless opportunities. With a library card, you can do so much more than check out books, from free classes and job resources to homework help and much more. Having a library card brings endless possibilities for everyone. The card is free, easy, and empowering. For students, it's a key to academic success. For adults, it's a gateway to lifelong learning. For everyone, it's a smart way to stay connected to your community. Stop by any Beauregard Parish Library location to sign up for your card today, because with a Beauregard Parish Library card, the possibilities are truly endless.
As signaled, we'll see. So Manny wins the toss, and the Dragons will get the football to start Manny to first. That means we will see a Dragon offense put up 42 last week.
We look like the Green Bay Packers last night. Dragons are in all white.
Yeah, they
blue numerals.
Shoot, how about the Green Bay Packers? They look like the favorite in the NFC. I know the Eagles are there, but I mean it's hard to. There ain't going to be a whole lot of people blocking Michael Parsons. I can promise you that. So the Dragons will be on offense in all white. That's a clean look. It's easy to see. All white, blue numerals, and lettering. White helmets with that Duke D on the side in blue, white or blue stripe right down the center. Manny in the red jerseys, black pants with the trim, black and white on the shoulders, white numerals, black trim, black helmets with that Manny M on the side.
Yeah, I'm like Sean. It's easy to see the numbers on both of these.
Hey, I've seen some bad ones. Rosepine had some military uniforms on last night, and it's
you go somewhere and it's raining and they get muddy. Can't see anything.
We are just about underway here. Rylan Lee lining up to kick off. I believe that's Javon Fairley back deep. He's standing at the 10. Manny kicking from right to left on your radio dial, and this one's going to be a short kick, and Fairley fields it on a hop at the 20. He's looking for some room, trying to get out of a couple of defenders. He gets the sideline, picks up about 10 more yards, just shy of the 35. Looks like they'll maybe mark him at 34. The side judge still walking, and again, turn something into nothing there as the Dragons will start at their own 34. And again, no Connor Rushford this week, but it didn't matter after the first quarter, and that's good for the Dragons.
And Dragon fans, if you were either at the ball game or listening to Sean and me on the radio, you know that Fairley had a game of a lifetime.
4 touchdowns last week.
And defense.
And special teams. First play from scrimmage is going to be a run, trying to go off left guard. I believe that's going to be Jaden Cooper. He had a pretty good game himself. He was about the only one that didn't score a touchdown last week, but he did have 100 yards on the ground. Picked up about 4.
And I think most of you heard that the Dragons are going to start 7 sophomores tonight. That's a whole bunch.
First road game, throw him into this environment. Armley in the gun. He'll swing one out here. That's Walker. Walker makes the catch, and he's going to be wrapped up, taken down. Minimal gain there. That was Rodney Waller. Bryson Walker with the first reception. So Michael Parmley starts 1 for 1, but it'll be about a third and a long 6 here. Opening drive for the Dragons. And again, I'm going to have to peep way out and see the scoreboard to my left there. Dragons going from left to right on your radio dial. First drive of the game. Opening minute and a half here. 3rd and 6. Parmley in the gun. 2 receivers to the far side. They'll swing it out to Cooper in the flats. He's looking for a couple of blockers. He's got him. He's got the first down and more. A little hesitation move across midfield. And they'll shove him out of bounds. Jonas Hendrickson shoves him out of bounds and might have saved even more. So a nice little play on 3rd down.
And, Sean, these are the kind of passes that I've always wanted DeRidder to throw. You don't have to throw the ball 40 yards down the field. Just throw it in the flat, screen pass, slant.
Great job out on the perimeter, blocking by the receivers. Now Parmley in the gun again on 1st down. He's looking to throw. He'll launch this one deep. He's got Merriweather over there, and pretty good coverage as that one falls incomplete. Merriweather comes up slow over there. As on the coverage, I believe that's Camden Bell over there.
And, Sean, Merriweather had a good game last
He did. And it honestly left a little meat on the bone. He had a touchdown catch he could have had, but ended up, 65 yards on 3 catches, including a big one that set up a scoring drive. So 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. They'll go to Cooper here, and Tigers all over that. That'll be a loss of about 2.
On the play. And if you didn't see last week's game and you didn't listen to us, we're running out of the shotgun, which we haven't done in most of the years that I've been on the radio with them.
The Dragons converted 1 3rd down. They need another. This one about 3rd and 11. They'll motion over Mason Havens. Now Cooper goes in motion out to the near side. They'll go to the back door with Merriweather, and he dropped it. He had some space and some blockers. That one off the hands. Jaden Merriweather, that one probably would have went a long ways, and That'll set up a 4th down. We'll see what the Dragons do. Again, talked about it in pregame. Obviously, Connor Rushford out. He's the starting punter. And then your backup punter, Aaron Woods, is also out. A lot of teams don't have 3 punters. A lot of teams don't have 1 punter in high school. So 4th and 11, Dragons in the offense for now, and then they'll burn a timeout here, and they'll probably punt it away. We'll take a 30-second timeout. Dragons facing a 4th and 11. Opening quarter, no score here in Manny. You're listening to KROK 95.7.
Some call it over-planning. At Shawson Gas, we call it foresight. Be prepared for the next power outage with a Generac home standby generator. After sensing a power outage, a Generac generator automatically restores your home's power, whether you're home or away. Generac, it's not just a generator, it's a power move. Be prepared this hurricane season and call Shawson Gas at 337-239-2719 to get in line for your new Generac home standby generator. Financing available. Shawson Gas, located at 1107 South 5th Street in Leesville. Ask about their monitoring services for generators and propane tanks.
Hey, Wilson on the punting unit. Luis Rodriguez out there. Again, he's the kicker, but been doing the punting duties this week in practice. Looked pretty good in pregame. And back deep to receive Cole O'Con, number 9 back there. Good snap. And it's a clean one. And O'Con back inside the 20. He'll field it at the 18, and a minimal gain. Gets stoned right at the 20. Nice coverage on the punt by the Dragons. About 5 or 6 white jerseys swarmed O'Con, and that is where Manny will begin the drive.
That's a good punt. Excellent defense by your Dragons.
Number 4 guy. 4 guy. Got 5 in, got 8 in.
Our defense played Dragon fans excellent last week.
Again, nothing doing on the ground for the Knights. They'll have better days for sure. That one's going to be at the 18 of the Tigers. And again, this is an offense that put up 467 total yards, 438 of that on the ground. And Daniel Thomas, most of that damage. They'll start on 1st down. They'll hand it to Thomas, and he is swarmed by that Dragon front of Mario Willis first to get his hands on him. And a loss of about 3, so a good start. Again, talked about it in pregame just a minute. If the Dragons can defend the run as well as they did last week, May's going to have a hard time moving the football because they were able to run it at will on Logansport up there on the road last week.
Well, and Sean, too, he's lining up about 7 yards in the backfield, so he's getting a good running start.
34 carries, 290 yards, 4 touchdowns for Daniel Thomas last week, the senior. And again, I believe he was banged up after about week 3 last year. It's the Manny team that went 0-10, but you turned on the film against Logansport, it was a totally different-looking Tiger football team. So 2nd and 12, the play action. That's Kellen Cox. He's rolling out. He's got a man in the flat. But again, the pressure applied by Thompson. The safety coming up. That one hops the intended receiver, Hendrickson, and that'll bring up a 3rd 12. But again, the pressure coming up the middle. The safety inserted into the starting lineup, Matthew Thompson, comes downhill and gets through, and you can credit him with the pressure there, and that'll set up a 3rd and long. And no score here, first quarter, 8:49 to play. Manny back deep in their own territory. The ball just shy of the 16-yard line. Again, a couple of really good plays here to start for the Dragon defense, picking up right where they left off last week. Cox under center, and they'll go with the counter dive. Henderson makes a man miss, and another, and he is into the clear. He is at midfield. He's got a couple of men to beat. Javon Fairley is going to hawk him down. May have saved a touchdown for the moment. A little slow to get up is Hendrickson. He's down at the 25, but again, the little counter dive, toss counter, I beg your pardon, and it was pretty wide open from the 16-yard line.
And that was what, 3rd down and 11?
That was 3rd and 11.
Wow.
Again, they don't even want to throw the ball. They're just handing it off. Again, on the toss counter, and that one at the 23. Somebody will have to do the math for me on that. That is a massive pickup on 3rd and 11.
62 yards for Henderson.
There we go, the PA man. 62-yard gain on the 3rd and 11. Puts the Tigers down into Dragon territory on 1st down. They'll hand it to the up back there. And after a minimal gain, pushes the pile. That's Rylan Lee. And a 6-yard.
He'll be
Zayden Scott,
at the red zone.
linebacker on that play.
Ball is right on the 20-yard line.
So 2nd and 7. Again, a 3rd and 11. Goes for 60-plus on the ground. Jonas Hendrickson, he had 7 carries for 122, 1 for 60-plus. Ain't too bad here to start week 2. Manny's first drive of the game. Again, they started on their own 18. They'll toss this one to Thomas, trying to make a couple of guys miss, and he'll pick up a nice gain to set up a 3rd and short.
Dragon fans, I can understand what Sean was saying. They fed this kid the ball. Of course, you rush for 293 yards. You're getting the ball a lot of times. And they're riding that horse.
34 of them. Again, that was a 35-19, I beg your pardon. My font size is like 4 on this paper, plus you add in the heat with no AC. I'm probably going to collapse on air here. So a big 3rd down. Dragons gave up the 3rd and 11 earlier, about a 3rd and 5 here. Fox under center. In the eye, Thomas gets the handoff. He makes a man miss behind the line. He's going to be about a yard short. Again, he had to make a couple of guys miss. Getting back to the line of scrimmage, he sets up a 4th and 1, so a big play early as the Tigers want to keep the offense out there. I saw some pregame, no disrespect to the kicker, but he almost hit the inflatable blow-up tunnel over there a couple times in pregame. And again, it's 4th and 1. You ran for 400 yards last week. You've been able to move it pretty well on this opening drive. Play clock at 20 seconds, so no rush. 6:13 to play here in the opening quarter. They'll probably, as a matter of fact, I think they can all take it all the way down to the hydration break. And that's probably what they're going to do, is we are at 5 seconds, 6:05 on the game clock, 7 seconds on the play clock. So they're going to probably pull them off. And they do. They blow the whistle, and we will have our first hydration break. So a big 4th down coming up. We'll take a 30-second timeout. Manny with the football facing a 4th and 1 when we come back on KROK 95.7.
Are you paying your bank to hold your money? If so, it's time to make the switch to a bank with totally free checking. Sabine State Bank offers free checking with no fees, no minimum balance, no balance requirements, no analysis fees, and we still include check images in your statements without a fee. There is even a free small business account. If you really want free checking, stop by one of our convenient 45 locations. Sabine State Bank. Our goal, your future success. Member FDIC.
So back out of the hydration timeout. Manny Tigers on their opening drive that started at their own 18.
Sean, I wish somebody would have brought us some water.
Well, I know this is hot because it's been up here. But, yeah, big play here to start for the Tigers. They've converted a 3rd and 11 for 60-plus. This one, 4th and 1. Ball sits at the 14-yard line. And they are in the Wildcat. Hendrickson, who had the big run, is back there in the gun. He'll hand it off, and I don't think he made it. Again, that was Thomas on the carry, but he hit the deck about a yard short, and the Dragons, they're not even going to get the measurement in. They're going to come off the field. Romine, one of the first guys off. He was on that front 4 that was so stellar last week. So a turnover on downs after the long 3rd down run. Comes up empty for the Tigers, and the Dragons will take over deep in their own territory, but that's better than the points. So the Dragons defense holds 5:53 left here in the opening quarter after a long drive comes up empty.
And the good news, Dragon fans, that was a stop. The bad news is we're on our own 15-yard line, but that's good.
1st and 10 from it's like the 14, and I think now they're up to the 15, so minimal gain there.
Hand off up the middle.
They call it no gain, but it looks like a yard at least. I'll tell you, I've been watching some of these replays of the games, and they'll spot you or miss you a yard or two. So Javon Fairley back there, he'll go in motion to the near side. They'll swing it out to him. He's going to have to make a couple guys miss. Ball pops up into the air. That's going to be an incomplete pass. But again, near disaster as Javon had really no chance there. As we've seen a couple of times now, Rodney Waller has made some plays.
Sean, they're going to have to fake that pass and hit somebody a little bit deep.
Yeah, look, you show that little bubble, and then you get the eyes in the backfield and to the perimeters. You're able to hit those deep balls. Problem is, they're just going to cash them in. 3rd and a long 8 here as 2 receivers to the near side is Montgomery and Walker. Looks like they're coming. They'll send the pressure. Parmley throws one up, and that one little out in front of Castle Montgomery, incomplete near midfield. Pretty tight coverage there. We talked about it in pregame and before we went on air. This time, Cash Oxley corner. I've played these guys. I've watched quarterfinals. They will maul you all the way down the field, and more often times than not, it does not get called because of, you see it in the NFL, the reputation. If you've got a reputation of physical, they'll let us go, and they've let it go here for a long time, and they are able to play some pretty tight coverage. Not necessarily interference on that one, but, again, step for step. Rodriguez, a good punt. That one going to take a roll and be fielded on a hop. And that's O'Con again. He's going to get across midfield, just shy of the 45. They'll mark it down at the Dragon 46.
And, Sean, that was an excellent punt. He was inside his own end zone, punted to the Manny 40. And I know you marked that thing at the 20 or the 15, so he really did a good job.
A good return. Manny at the Dragon 46. Their second drive, their first one, they converted a long 3rd and 11, but ultimately stopped on 4th and 1. Deep into Dragon territory. Again, they're trying to put the field, but a decent return there. Now the Tigers back on offense. 4:59 to play in the opening quarter. No score. They'll toss it to Thomas to the near side. He's down the sideline, gets through a couple of tacklers, and into the end zone goes Daniel Thomas. He tiptoed the sideline. I didn't think he was going to have any room down there. Again, the toss play to the near side. A 46-yard run for Daniel Thomas. His 5th of the season, 1st of the night, and Manny strikes first here in the ball game.
He tiptoed down the sidelines. He tiptoed down the sidelines.
Yeah, I
thought he was
kind of shocked that he was able to stay in bounds. But again, this guy ran for 400 yards almost, or 290 last week. As a team, they ran for 400, and he had 4 touchdowns. They'll line up to kick the extra point, and this one is going to sneak through. That was Braden Goodman. So 2-kicker system here for the Tigers. But again, Manny strikes first. 46-yard touchdown run from Daniel Thomas. They lead 7-0. Dragons getting it. When we come back, we'll take a 30-second break on KROK 95.7.
Sick and tired of feeling sick and tired? Okay, you've heard that one before. The proof is people leaving the chiropractic clinic with a little higher step in their walk, a brighter smile, and generally feeling better after treatments from Dr. James Jenkins. From an auto accident to years of discomfort, Dr. Jenkins and feeling better is only a phone call away at 337-463-7313. Even the initial consultation is free. Living without pain, priceless. Better quality of living is an appointment away at the Chiropractic Clinic, 304 North Pine Street in DeRidder.
Dragons back on kickoff return. Javon Fairley standing at his own 10-yard line. The Manny Tigers, one play, 46 yards in 9 seconds. Daniel Thomas, a 46-yard touchdown run. Got the toss to the near sideline right in front of us and tiptoed his way down and into the end zone. This one will be fielded and dropped, and now a ball still loose. That was Cooper, I believe, that fielded it on a hop. And this is going to be big here. Everybody pointing one way. And somehow, DeRidder has the football. Oh, dodged a bullet there as Jaden Cooper kind of had a tricky hop, but you got to secure that, and he tried to fall down on it. And again, an oblong-shaped football is going to be pretty tough to secure. It bounced all around. I'm not even sure if he was the one that recovered it. As you get down to that pile, some interesting stuff can happen down there, Mike.
Well, and they got the ball in a good place, 35-yard line.
Yeah, again, the short kickoff, DeRidder will have it.
They'd have lost the ball at the 35. That wouldn't have been good at all.
No, that would have been, again, deep into Dragon territory. So DeRidder on offense again, trailing now 7-0, 4:44 left in the opening quarter. They'll start from their own 35. Michael Parmley in the gun. Now handed to Javon Fairley. He's got a hole, and he is loose. 40, 30, 20. Go ahead and play the fight song. Touchdown, DeRidder Dragons. Javon Fairley picks up right where he left off last week. I think that might have been a touchdown in two-hand touch, flag, whatever you want to call it. That parted like the Red Sea for Fairley. Good job by that offensive line, and one play, the Dragons are right back in it. 65-yard run by Javon Fairley. Again,
right up the middle.
What an answer there. After giving up the long run, they answer with one of their own, and now Rodriguez on to attempt the extra point. Snap's good, hold is down, and the kick is good. So the Dragons answer one play after giving up the touchdown. We are knotted at 7. 4:32 left in the opening quarter. We'll be right back. 30-second break. You're listening to KROK 95.7.
When Beauregard Electric Co-op powered up in 1939, its focus was on the future, always looking for better, more effective ways to supply electricity to our friends and community. In addition to this, supporting our local schools and students became key, as we know they would continue to fuel our future. Now, 85 years later, Beauregard Electric is still powering your life and continuing those traditions and morals. Beauregard Electric Co-op wishes all athletes a safe and successful football season.
They walked that linebacker down. You can't. So we're back here again. We were talking before we came back on air. Manny in that three-man front again against Logansport. They're not going to be able to stay in that three-man front very long, as Manny scores on a one-play, 46-yard drive, and then the Dragons answer one play later with a 65-yard run of their own. Javon Fairley picking up right where he left off last week. He had 4 touchdowns, and he puts it into the end zone yet again. This one fielded inside the 20 over on the far sideline. A little hesitation move. Pretty good return there.
I don't know what they're teaching these kids, but I tell you,
that was Thomas.
What is it, tightrope?
Yeah, just walking the tightrope.
Because they get to Dragon fans, they get to the sidelines, and they just run right down the edge of the sidelines.
After the Dragons had pretty good field position to start, Manny answers with a good return of their own by Thomas, and they'll start at their own 40. 4:25 to play in quarter number 1. Sean Larkin, Mike Giles with you in a very hot Manny Tiger press box with no AC. The Manny radio crew's got the AC. I told them I'm gonna slander their name out here all broadcast. So under center goes Kellen Cox. They'll go to Thomas, looking for some running room, and he is tripped up after about a 4 or 5 yard gain. Looks like they may mark it right at the 45, and they'll move it back a yard. So the note for football is 44. Second and 6. Again, Thomas with that 46-yard run. There's the drive a go on one play to get the Tigers on the board first, but DeRidder answers right back here. Under 4 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Second and 6. Cox under center. They'll go quick to the up man. I believe that's Hendrickson, I think. And it was.
It'll pick up about 2.
Anderson had that long run on that opening drive for Manny. Went for 60-plus. And now the ball sits at the 46-yard line of the Tigers. 3rd and 4. Again, Manny converted a 3rd and 11 for 60 yards on the opening drive, but was stopped on 4th and 1. So Dragon defense digging in here. A manageable 3rd down. We'll see what the Tigers do, but before we see a play ran, Manny will take a timeout. We'll take it with him, a 30-second break. 3rd down coming up for the Tigers. You're listening to KROK 95.7.
It's fall on the Bend, the perfect time to enjoy the great outdoors on Toledo Bend. Sabine River Authority invites you to head to Toledo Bend. Enjoy waterfront cabins at Cypress Bend Park or RVing at Pleasure Point and San Miguel Parks. There's plenty to do along Louisiana's largest waterway. Fish, boat, swim, and barbecue. Sabine River Authority, managing Louisiana's recreation destination. And this holiday season, plan a visit to Cypress Bend Park for festive holiday lights along the Bend. Sabine River Authority brings Toledo Bend to life.
In Manny, where I don't know if I'm going to make the half. I may pass out if he's exhausted. It is a scorcher in this press box. 3rd and 4 for the Tigers. After the timeout, Manny's first of the ball game. Some press coverage down here to the near sideline. Receiver split way out. That's Bell. In the I formation go the Tigers. Cox under center. Will play action roll out to the near side. A couple of defenders fall down. They're going up top. And everybody falling down on the turf. Jump ball knocked away. That's a pretty good play there by Camden Johnson. But we've got Javon Fairley grabbing it outside of his knee. And, man, you hope that is not what it looks like it is on this turf, because that is a non-contact injury. And, man, he does not look very comfortable down there. Man, this is terrible. We're going to take a minute break. They're going to take a look at Javon down there. He's just shy of the 20-yard line. Again, a non-contact injury. We'll take a minute break, come back, sort this out. You're listening to KROK 95.7.
It's common knowledge that Morris Tire serves the Leesville and DeRidder area for all of your tire needs. Did you also know that Morris Tire can handle your vehicle maintenance needs when it comes to brakes, oil, shocks, suspension, and alignments? 2 locations to better serve you. Take advantage of Morris Tire's quality care, whether you live around Leesville or DeRidder. Morris Tire Service in DeRidder now has a brand new state-of-the-art alignment machine and a certified alignment tech. Stop in today and let Morris Tire take care of your alignment needs.
I just opened my student checking account at Barksdale Federal Credit Union, and it was so easy. No minimum deposit, free debit card with reward points, and they waived my monthly fee for just showing my proof of enrollment. Even my younger siblings can open one with a parent. If you're a student, you've got to check this out. Score more perks. Open your student checking at Barksdale Federal Credit Union today. Check them out at bfcu.org.
Must be under the age of 25 and enrolled in school. Minors must have a joint parent or guardian on the account. Federally insured by NCUA.
Where good news for everybody, not just Dragon fans, but everybody involved here. Javon able to be helped off the field. Hopefully it may be just a little hyperextension, kind of a scare, but he is off the field, and it was Zeke back deep to receive this punt, and we'll make sure it gets off, and they do indeed punt the football, and on a hop, Zeke gets the ball cleanly and makes a couple guys miss, then he'll be thrown forward just shy of the 30, so that's actually a decent return there. He's basically moving in a phone booth back there, but
about 5 yards.
They do get it to the 30. But again, that Javon Fairley play was very scary because it was non-contact. He was trying to flip his hips on the turf and just kind of hit the deck there. But we'll see, again, a team that's already without Connor Rushford back there on offense. We'll have to dig deeper into the depth chart as Parmley will hand it off to Cooper. Again, he had 100 yards last week. This time, minimal gain, maybe no gain there on first down. Again, that'll be something to monitor there with Javon. And that just, the fact that he was able to get up is encouraging in itself. So, second down and 11. 2.5 minutes play in the opening quarter, which has felt like an eternity, but at least we have a play clock. Cooper goes out here in the flats. They're going up top to Merriweather, and he dropped a touchdown as everybody slipping and sliding on this turf. That time, Camden Bell, the corner, slipped down, and Merriweather catches that one. He is into the end zone.
Dragons fans, if you haven't seen Michael Farmer throw the ball, kid's got an arm.
Look, he didn't throw a touchdown pass last week. He was 8 for 16 with 2 interceptions. He did run one in, but he had opportunities. There were touchdowns to be had. They just weren't finished, and that was another one right there. Again, the ball's this. You have to make some plays for your sophomore quarterback, and especially here on 3rd and 11. But again, I noticed this early in the season. I've came to Manny a few times early, and that turf is it's awful. High snap. Parmley just has to chase it down and doesn't slide on it. Still loose, and Manny is going to recover the football in the end zone for the touchdown. And again, just a bad bounce there as the Tigers fall on it after it squirts all the way into the end zone. And the Tigers now lead 13-7. Again, high snap. Parmley tried to chase it down and just slide on it instead of pick it up. He did the right thing. It just popped out from underneath. And now, Tigers lead 13-7, extra point pending. And Goodman back there again for the point after. Snap good, and that one's going to be blocked, and again, play is blown dead in high school, I believe. Yeah, again, no whistle, but it was blown dead last week in one of my games, and if it wasn't, DeRidder would have had a couple extra points there. So, after the blocked extra point, the Tigers now lead at 13-7. Dragons getting it after a 30-second break. Listening to KROK 95.7.
Iberia Comprehensive Community Health Center, Inc. strives to provide comprehensive health care to everyone, offering medical services to communities throughout Louisiana. They are proud to announce the opening of their newest health care center, coming to DeRidder this fall. DeRidder Community Health Center will be offering family medicine services at 427 North Pine Street, Suite A, DeRidder. For more information, visit their website, icchc.org.
Back here at John W. Curtis Tiger Stadium, where in a turnover miscue on offense has cost the Dragons 6 points as Manny scoops up the loose football and falls on it in the end zone for a touchdown. Again, Dragons block the extra point, and now they'll get it back trailing by 6. Low liner fielded at the 20, and making a couple guys miss that tripped up just shy of the 35. Looks like about the 31 to the 32-yard line. And that is where the Dragons will start. 32-yard line here.
And I tell you what, Dragons fans, when Fairley went down on the ground, he didn't move.
No, and
that was scary.
And again, you've seen a couple of guys you have really started to count on going into the season. They've gone down in 2 weeks, and you've got to kind of reset, and they'll start on the ground. Hoop to spin out of a tackle. Man, he's going to probably start loading the box. Again, the way you can stop 9 guys in the box is catch the football out on the perimeter in single coverage, and they're just unable to do so. Should have had a couple of long gains, possible touchdowns, but no gain there on first down. Cooper, again, had 100 yards rushing last week, 120, and he's found it hard to come by here as now trips to the near side. Mason Havens, the tight end, is the third receiver on the end, and they'll hand it again to Cooper, and just another yard there, so it'll set up a 3rd and 9. Minute and 25 seconds here left in the opening quarter, which has felt like 4 quarters. We had no clock last week. It felt like an eternity. This week we got the clock, and we have had a bunch of breaks in the action, and probably the heat factoring in as well. Ball's at the 33, 3rd and 9.
And right now we're running typical Dragon offense up the middle.
Trips to the near. Play action. They'll screen it out high. Throw. That was going to be picked off of the hands of the intended receiver, Merriweather. And it was picked off, I believe that's Bell. So back-to-back drives, back-to-back turnovers. I believe that was Bell that intercepted it off the tip. Again, kind of flew in. And it was so going from bad to worse here. 49 seconds left in the quarter. Dragons just trying to get out of the quarter. And now Manny deep into DeRidder territory at the 32-yard line. Kellen Cox under center. They'll flip it out to Thomas. He makes a man miss behind the line of scrimmage, and up across the 30, he'll be wrestled down. Merriweather there. And he was looking to get the perimeter again. And I thought going into this, watching the film, DeRidder's really good defensively in a vacuum, kind of. The teams that run that double tight. I thought they matched up pretty well with the Tigers, but Thomas has been able to kind of get the edge. He's got it at least once, but again, they'll have to setting the edge here. 2nd and about 5. They'll hand it off to Thomas again. Makes 2-man miss. He is into the second level and up near the 15. They'll mark him at the 17. Again, patient running. And this Dragon defense, which has been on the field for quite some time here early, is starting to give it up in chunks, and they will get a break here as the quarter comes to a close. Again, a eventful first quarter here at Manny. Tigers use a couple of turnovers, and they lead DeRidder 13-7. We'll take a 30-second timeout, come back. Tigers deep into Dragon territory. You're listening to KROK 95.7.
Football season at Benoit Motors, we're here to help you avoid the fumble and cheer every drive with unbeatable deals across all your favorite brands. Nissan, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Ford, Chevrolet, and GMC. Whether you're looking for a tough Ram to tackle any job, a sleek Nissan to drive the field, or a Ford or Chevy ready to rush through your day, Benoit Motors has the winning lineup. Don't drop the ball on savings. Our prices are touchdown worthy and our service is championship level. So gear up and head to Benoit Motors and let's make this season one to cheer about. BuyBenoit.com. With Benoit, every drive's a victory.
Quarter. Tigers lead the Dragons 13-7. And Dragons back-to-back possessions have ended in turnovers, the first of which directly led to some points as a high snap went over quarterback Michael Parmley's head, and he tried to chase it down and fall on it. I got out from under him and rolled into the end zone. Tigers able to scoop it up. And again, the biggest story of the night for the second week in a row, one of the Dragons' top offensive players goes down. Arguably the player of the game last week, Javon Fairley, on non-contact, hits the deck trying to defend a pass, and we have not seen him since. And it was just encouraging to see him get up, but you really hope he is not done for the remainder of this one or possibly more. So 1st and 10, Tigers. Cox, they go to the ground again. Thomas, this time he's going to be tripped up for a minimal gain, maybe a couple inside the 20. Looks like they'll mark him maybe at the 16.
Well, I made the point a while ago.
Grant Cooper had a great game last week on the tackle.
Right. Tailback is lining up probably about 7 yards back. So by the time he gets the snap and
he's downhill, he is ready to roll.
Dead run.
Again, the football just shy of the 15 at the 16. He is standing with his heels on the 22. So 2nd down and 8. They'll toss it to him to the near side, and that's a really good job there. That is one of the new starters, Jack McCann, coming in and wrapping up Thomas. He came through, shot through that gap like he was shot out of a cannon there, and a great open field tackle because we've seen Thomas with the ability to make some guys miss in space. That time, a sure tackle, and that'll make it a 3rd and 10.
They gained no yards at all.
Yeah, loss.
And that was
a loss of 2 after the 2-yard gain on 1st down. So back to a 3rd and long, 10:50 to play in the half. Tigers trying to capitalize on another turnover. Cox under center. This time they'll run play action. A little pressure bearing down on him. He looks like Mahomes back here at the 30. He's going to heave one up. That one picked off. And falling down, securing the catch. That is Mazik back there. He had one last week. This time catches one inside the 10, and that will diffuse the Manny threat there, and the Dragons will take over. But, again, no points on the drive as looks like a celebration. And a couple of guys celebrating over there on the DeRidder sideline. A couple of white jerseys hit the deck. The coach is bringing the hat over there. My goodness.
Well, that's 2 touchdowns the Dragons awarded, playing good defense.
Again, they stalled him on a 4th and 1, and then deep in Dragon territory again, they get the turnover.
About the 8 shot?
Looks like ball at the 7. Parmley in the gun. He'll hand it off. I believe Cooper's got it, and he is trying to push the pile. He'll lower his head and pick up about 3. Actually, maybe 4. To the 11.
And Sean, the bad thing about the offense right now, they're kind of sitting back and waiting for these short passes.
Oh, yeah. Defensively, look, Manny's, again, historically is going to jam you at the line of scrimmage. They're going to get in your face. But you've beaten the press. You just got to make the catch. And they've had touchdowns dropped. So they are going to be in your face as now they are sitting in the house. Parmley looks to throw on the slant. Again, good coverage there. Montgomery had it, but it was knocked out. Cash Oxley is draped all over the receiver. So now 3rd and 6. Coming up for the Dragons. Get ball at the 11.
You almost have to run the ball, give your punter a little run.
What they really need is just kind of a big chunk play. They've been playing in the shadow of their own end zone for quite some time here. And they'll hand it off, and Cooper nothing doing as he runs right into the teeth of that Manny defense. Again, it looked pretty finisherable there in that opening quarter early, and that was when Javon Fairley took it to the house, but he is right now on the sideline, so another 4th down, and the Dragons have no choice but to punt it here.
And Sean, you may think about this. Dragons are almost in shock from not being able to move the ball, and then Fairley gets hurt.
That's what I was going to say. You're in more shock of
what else we're going to have.
Yeah, who's next? Pretty good snap, and this one's going to be a high kind of spirally kick that does take a good DeRidder bounce. It originally bounced at the 30, but that one still in Dragon territory, but at the 41-yard line. 9:03 left in the half. Manny will take over.
And when you think Rodriguez is not the regular punter, kicking out of the end zone.
He's not even the backup punter.
I know. That's 41 out of the end zone.
So Manny able to hold after throwing the interception.
We just don't need to give up any more points in the first half.
Again, Manny will get the football to start the second half. They defer after they win the toss.
Again, Sean, you'd think we were way behind. We're only down 13-7.
Yeah, what looked like it was about to be a shootout.
And they've moved the ball all over the place. They just can't get it in.
Cox goes quickly, and this time it's going to be Hendrickson, and he is loose. Stiff arms the guy at the 20. He'll be tackled inside the 10. Hendrickson has picked him up in chunks so far. He's got a couple of carries and a couple of big runs. This time he is brought down at the 9. That was a 32-yard run. 31-yard carries. They'll move it back to the 10. So first and goal from the 10-yard line. That's a big run by Hendrickson. Again, Hendrickson had 120 on the ground last week. Then him and Thomas. Fox under center. They'll hand to Thomas. Thomas hesitates. This time he's going to be wrapped up. I think that was Willis coming off the edge there. And again, McCann coming from that linebacker spot, filling in, again, in relief for another injured Dragon, Eric Hall. So, again, you said it, Mike. If you're the offense or just in general, it's your teammate, your classmate, you see guys dropping left and right, you wonder who's next. It's a lot of attrition, and even at a 4A or 3A school with big numbers, you don't like dropping so many guys 2 weeks in. So Dragon's going to have to dig deep here. Second and goal from the 8-yard line. They'll toss it. Now they'll run the reverse, and that's going to be Keelan Maxey. He's looking for a block. He gets one inside the 10, the 5, and into the end zone for a touchdown. They run the reverse again, a little bit of over pursuit. They had a blocker out there. I believe that was Gage Sanders, the right guard, and he cleaned out that left side and into the end zone. 8-yard run on the reverse by Keelan Maxey.
And I played defense, Sean, back at the door cages. You got to hold your ground to be sure the ball is going where it looks like it's going.
So I didn't play defense much. I was a backup on defense, but they always preached the acronym RCB, and that tells you reverse, counter, bootleg to stay home. And that time it was the R, the reverse, and it was wide open. So they'll go for 2. They'll toss to Thomas, and he is stoned. No gain there. So Dragons hold him out on the 2-point try. But with 7:46 to play here in quarter number 2, 19-7, Manny leads. Dragons getting it after the 30-second timeout. You're listening to KROK 95.7.
Attention! Champion Homes Leesville is hiring skilled craftsmen to join their expanding team. Whether you're an electrician, plumber, welder, or mechanic, they have a spot for you. Benefits include company match 401k, paid vacation and holidays, medical, prescription, dental, vision, and life insurance. Still not convinced? Get this. They offer weekly production bonuses and a chance to be entered into weekly drawings of $500 with perfect work attendance. And you're eligible to purchase a Champion Home at retail cost after 1 year of employment. Don't overthink it. Visit championhomes.com to apply today.
And a 19 DeRidder 7. And he capitalized on the short field, 41 yards. This one, short kick, fielded by Mazika, the 20. He's up across the 30, slips on the turf, able to dive forward across 35 to the 36, but they are slipping and sliding up on the turf. And I was saying earlier, I was here for Newman a couple of years ago, and that was, I think, week 2. And the surface was so slick, and it usually is on these turf fields early. You know, they kind of comb them in the summer. But I have seen guys slipping and sliding, and most notably Javon Fairley on a non-contact drill trying to change direction. He just hit the deck, you know, kind of awkwardly. So, and obviously it plays well later into the year, but the Dragons take over here, trailing by 12 at their own 36-yard line. And, again, 2 straight drives with turnover and then a punt. They need to sustain a drive, and on first down, a yard. Again, it has been tough sledding for Jaden Cooper, and again, that offensive line, which, again, you lose a guy like Fairley, Mike, after he busts one for 65 yards in one play, you're kind of feeling it a little bit, and then he goes down, and he's kind of shocked. They'll throw this one out on the far side, and nice play there as that one caught by Bryson Walker. He makes a man miss on the initial throw and catch, and then able to get it up across the 40. Looks like they'll mark it at the 41. Set up a 3rd and manageable, 3rd and 5. But the Dragons really need a conversion here. That defense has been on the field for a long time.
That's the biggest play we've had on offense in a while.
Since the 65-yard touchdown. 6:50 to play in the half. Dragons really need to convert here. And it has dried up since the Javon injury, and they will take a timeout. So we'll take a 30-second break with them. 6:42 remaining in the half. Dragons facing the 3rd and 5. You're listening to KROK 95.7.
Mid-South Forestry Equipment in Manny, formerly Patrick Miller, would like you to know that we're still providing the same great service that our customers have come to depend on. Our name may have changed, but our commitment to the community is still the same. We look forward to continuing to service all your Tiger Cat, Kubota, Land Pride, and Bad Boy needs. Stop in and say hi or give us a call at 318-256-5686 for more information. That's Mid-South Forestry Equipment in Manny, formerly Patrick Miller Tractor.
Trying to find some scores from around the area. I've got a friend over at Kinder. They're playing Iota. And again, it is so hot in this press box. Sean Larkin, Mike Isles with you. We have gotten no AC, no airflow since the jump here.
He hadn't taken his shirt off.
No, not yet. The shirt isn't off. Here comes the 3rd down and 5. Walker goes across the formation into the slot on the far sideline. They'll look that way. This one to Montgomery over the top. A near interception there by Cash Oxley. He's been flashing early here in the first half, and he breaks that one up. 4th down. Again, if you're the Dragons, you got a tough decision, but you've been playing on your own side of the field for a while. You might want to punt this football and try to at least flip the field. And it looks like that's what they'll do.
Either that or we'll run the typical thing and try to draw them off sides, but I'm not sure about that. But they're in punt for it.
Rodriguez back deep to punt. Kyle O'Con back to receive. Again, a great punt. That one a low spinner. It'll bounce a couple of times, and hesitating to get to it was O'Con.
Blocking the back.
And Jasper Peters back behind us. He's pleading for the block in the back on the return, but the Dragons do down that punt. 6:25 left, and again, for the moment, they have flipped the field. Yeah, no, look, for either team, I don't think we've seen a flag. So no flag after it was flag happy last week. Don't even get me started on what I saw last night at the Rose Pine Grand Lake game. We had 15 minutes of nothing, no plays, and all discussion. So I didn't get out of there until close to 10 o'clock. So Manny will start from their own 24 with a 19-7 lead. And again, they have started pretty good field position. We'll backtrack that here after this first down play. Cox under center, hands it off to Thomas. Thomas tried to weave through that first wave, and I believe that was McCann again. Caxton, Romine up front, Marcus March, Jerron Jackson, and Marty Willis. They did a great job last week against South Bow, but again, they have been on the field for quite some time, as I think Manny's going to try to take a timeout. They were signaling to come over to the sideline, but we'll keep it right here. Look, in the second quarter, well, I guess we can go back to the first quarter about after the first drive, which went all the way into Dragon territory. but they were stuffed on fourth down. Since that drive that started on their own 18, the opening drive of the game, Manny has started on DeRidder's 46. They went one play for a touchdown. They started on their own 40. They punted, but that was the drive that Javon was injured on. Then they started, they got a defensive touchdown, so they didn't have to go back out on offense. Then their next drive started on the Dragon 32 after the interception, and then the Dragon 41. So that's how Manny's been starting. Finally, DeRidder has pushed them back into their own territory at 24. So, again, it's just kind of, they've been playing on their own side of the field the entire first half. It's really hard to kind of get a game plan going.
Yeah, we either need either a turnover or a stop, and we need to score.
And
we're only down, 19 to
7, and still plenty of ball game left. A score update from Tioga. Indians trying to revenge from last season's game at Leesville, and they are all over the Cats, 28-0 in that one.
Wow.
That's kind of a stunner there. Is Leesville able to put points on the board, but that's a great-looking Tioga team. They had a ton of athletes last year. I'll be able to check that one out. And if you want to listen to that, that is on 93.5. First down play, they'll swing this one out to the flats to Thomas. Good job by the Dragons there to kind of pursue the football. Again, that was actually thrown behind the line of scrimmage. That may be a rush. Yeah, and I think he might have lost a yard. You might be right. And they are backing up the marker. So a third and a long 7. Big play here for DeRidder. They could possibly flip the field here for the first time. Seems like last week. 5.5 to play in the half. Manny leads DeRidder 19-7. We appreciate you joining us here in week 2. In the shotgun this time, Cox throws it, and the catch is made shy of the first down. Well, still on his feet. And Evan Wilson.
And that was the stop I was looking for.
So it'll be about fourth and...
It's the first time they punted in it.
Well, we hadn't punted yet. And we will have the hydration break. Again, they let a minute run off there because there was a stoppage of play, I think, before that. Yeah, okay, that's what, yeah. So we will take a 30-second timeout, and we will come back. Big decision here for the Tigers. You're listening to 95.7 KROK.
Great food, great drinks, and a great time? You're sure to find all that and maybe more at Double D Steakhouse in DeRidder. Open daily at 11 a.m. They are ready to serve you juicy burgers, delicious chicken dishes, and cut daily certified Angus beef steaks, all cooked over a mesquite grill. Complement your entree with a loaded baked potato, some steamed veggies, or any of their many side selections. Watch your favorite sports teams on one of their mini TVs while enjoying an ice-cold draft beer or one of their many popular drink specials. Double D Steakhouse, located on Highway 171 in DeRidder, for great food, great drinks, and a great time.
Camden Johnson for the Dragons, man, it just goes from bad to worse. He is still being tended to at the 29 here on the near sideline. But again, just, you know, you just wonder, like, when does it stop? We're in week 2. And Kinder playing Iota here in week 2. Looks like they are up 24-10. I get a text message. Defense still optional, and if you saw any of the scores last night, defense was non-existent as Camden able to gingerly walk off the field under his own power, but it's not taking him. He's not doing it very quickly, Mike. So
he's not running.
Again, something else to monitor for the Dragons, who they're gonna put together a mass unit out there, and like we said in the pregame, they've got enough medical supplies on that sideline with braces and boots and whatnot to open up a store over there. And it looks like Merriweather in at corner on the near side. It's a big decision here for, man, again, you're deep in your own territory. Ball sits at the 31. You got to get to the 34.
Got to punt, Sean.
I mean, you would think with the way DeRidder's moved the football, you're pinning them deep. But they are...
Maybe they're going to
under center. Again, you got to key the football here as Cox goes under center, and if you're DeRidder, you cannot jump here. And they do, and Manny will move the chains. That is just can't happen, Mike.
Yeah, well, that's a DeRidder play. They used it against us.
I mean, they are not going to.
The coaches can't be happy.
No, I do not want to be in any of the press boxes with the coaches or on the sideline. I mean, you hate to just kind of harp on it, but, I mean, it can't happen. It can't happen. You know they're not running the ball. So 4th and 3 becomes a 1st and 10, ball at the 36. And now Cox back under center. They are looking to operate here. They'll hand it quickly up the middle and diving up across the 40 to the 41, Hendrickson.
And, Sean, I would like to know what time of possession is between DeRidder and Manning. Because we haven't hardly had the ball at all.
Well, I would say it's going to be skewed, but since Javon's touchdown, it has probably been Manny football for a long time. DeRidder's gone 3 and out. I don't think they've gotten the first down since the touchdown they've had. Yeah, and even that one was, like we said, was a one-play drive, a little off-tackle, ball's out, and it is scooped up. We got a big man running with the football, and Amari Willis, he was looking for red paint out there. He'll be dropped down at the 25. That's the break the Dragons needed. But again, Thomas just lost possession of it. And, okay, we've got Marcus March there that poked it out again. Well, maybe he was trying to switch hands away from the contact, but we had a big fellow with the football, and he had a full head of steam. Dragons get the break they need. They'll take over deep in Tiger territory. That was a huge play because after the devastating 4th down, you jump off sides. Dragons now +1 in the turnover margin.
And Dragons fans, if you wonder what Sean said, they're headed towards the red paint. End zones are painted red with Manny written in big white numerals.
So Dragons get it at the Manny 27. They'll hand it off. Cooper, stretched out, spins out of a tackle. He's looking for any kind of running room, and he's able to fall forward and maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. It might have been the most exciting 1-yard or no-yard run we've seen.
And, Sean, what do we need to do on offense?
Just need to keep the ball.
Yeah.
You need to bleed clock, and honestly, you get it here on the 27, you got to score. I don't care if it's 3 or 6, but you got to keep your defense off the field. They've been out there basically the whole game, and they got you the football here. It looked like everybody was moving, no flag. Merriweather down there, that one well over his head, and the defender came to bail. I'm shocked there was not a legal procedure. There was 4 or 5 guys moving before the ball was snapped, but again, it's week 2 for the officials, too. We saw that last night, a lot of motion, and now, again, a 3rd and 10. And Dragons just have not been able to sustain the drive. You get the short field, and you're in that range where it'd be a ridiculous field goal attempt here, but 2 receivers to the near side. They'll hand it to Cooper. He'll lower his head. He'll pick up about 4. He is at the 24-yard line.
And Sean, I don't believe we can pick up a first down running the ball. I may be totally
They haven't shown the ability to run the football consistently since Javon went down.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to put Rodriguez out there to try a 41-yard field goal. He is getting ready to step it off here as the play clock's at 10 seconds. They may have to burn a timeout here. And it'll be Manny that takes the timeout. I would have maybe forced DeRidder's hand there and seen if they could have burnt one. So take a 30-second break. 4th down coming up for the Dragons looking for points. You're listening to KROK 95.7.
You need a bank like a great oak tree with roots that run deep in the community and wide branching arms that give you comfort and relief knowing you're covered from the storm. Beauregard Federal Savings Bank is there for you. Their roots run so deep, they've been serving the DeRidder community ever since 1948. Their staff have been trained on the same values of quality customer service and personal treatment since the bank's founding. From loans to debit cards to IRAs, online banking, and other services, Beauregard Federal Savings Bank, 337-463-4493.
KROK Southport Pulp.
So the field, snap down, hold good, and the kick is on the way, and it is just short, no good. He missed it. I think he might have had it from about 35, so just missed the 41-yarder. But again, I think now we can kind of see he's got the leg for about a 35, 30-yarder. Unfortunately, the Dragons come up empty on the turnover, and he still leads 19-7 with 2:36 left in the half.
And the only good thing about that, Sean, I mean, I would have gone for first down, but that means that Manny's got the ball deep in their own territory.
Again, if you're the Dragons on defense, you got to hold them out of the end zone here. They have been able to move it. You got the turnover. You've been on the field basically the entire first half, and they will get the ball out of the locker room to start the second half. So
And that was the break we were looking for.
Exactly, unable to cash it in. Back on offense go the Tigers. They hand it off to Thomas. That was a pretty good hit there, the point of contact. That's, man, again, we've called 45 Jack McCann's name quite a bit. The sophomore has came in, and he's brought his helmet with him because he is laying the wood. That was and he met Thomas in the hole. Again, Thomas does get up 3 yards, but he paid for it there at the end as Ken finishes filling in for one of the several Dragons injured, Eric Hall. Pretty good linebacker there, so it's been plug and play for Coach Parmley and the Dragons, and again, trying to battle here. 2 minutes left in the half. 2nd and 7. Cox back under center. He'll hand this off Thomas, looking to bounce it outside. Good pursuit there, makes him cut it back in, and again, a host of white jerseys will bring him down. I believe that was Mazik back there that was trying to at least pursue the play, and
I think I would use some of my timeouts.
I think they may only have one.
They would just have one.
I think. 3rd and, looks like about a 3rd and 4. Ball sits at 27. 90 seconds playing the half. And again, the Dragons content with letting the clock bleed. If they can get a stop, we'll see what they do with it. 3rd down and a long, we'll call it 3.5. Cox under center. They'll run the toss counter, and the Dragons all over it. Grant Cooper finishes it off, but he's still on his feet. Romine's got him, and they're going to blow the whistle again. Yeah, forward progress was stopped, but able to spin out of that tackle was Hendrickson. But Grant Cooper there, and that'll be a loss. But I believe Manny's going to keep the offense out there, but 5 is that's Hendrickson. So and they will send on a hockey line substitution. And again, you can't go for it here. 40 seconds to play in the half. No timeouts used yet. Play clock reads 15 seconds and counting. Back deep is Mazik. If the Dragons maybe could get back there and get a hand on this one.
We need a roller or a high ball.
5 seconds left on the play clock. Henderson looking to the sideline. They won't snap this one. As 23 seconds on the game clock. Timeout. Manny will take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to KROK 95.7.
Jackson Hewitt makes taxes feel like a yacht rock song.
Please, give me my biggest tax refund, please. You, me, and a lifetime accuracy guarantee.
And now get $100 just to try Jackson Hewitt. Does your tax person do that?
Say goodbye to that no guarantee tax guy.
Ready to sail through tax season? Go to Jackson Hewitt and you'll be... Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
They need to come on. Sean, I'll come back on.
So out of the timeout. 4th down and 4. Manny's got the punting unit. They've got the punting look on. Henderson back there, and again, Mazik back deep for the Dragons. Is good. Cooper trying to get through a pretty good punt. Signal fair catch and makes it at the 44-yard line of the Dragons. So 16 seconds to play. And the Dragons defense does their job, and we'll see if the Dragons get aggressive. They will take over with 16 seconds left, and the ball actually will be moved to the 45.
They don't have much time to get aggressive.
Well, you can. All you need is one play. They've scored their only touchdowns in on one play. So 2 receivers to the near side here. They'll back off the press coverage. They're looking to the right. Parmley heaves one up. Castle Montgomery, and that one again broken up. Man, we have called Cash Oxley's name a few times tonight, and it has been of the good variety. If you're on defense, you either get your name called for penalties or pass breakups for interceptions, and he has been all over Montgomery. Again, this is a team that plays that press coverage, and it looks like Dragons trying to run a little fumble-rooski there. As out the back door went Jaden Cooper. He was going to the far sideline. We got a flag over there on the far side. So that'll be a false start. Ball wasn't snapped. Got to snap it and leave it. So you burn one of your trick plays in the process, and you back up 5 yards with 8 seconds left on the clock. But they did have the fumble Rooski on there, trying to draw one up out on the playground. Clock is rolling with 3 seconds to play. They'll snap it. Armley hands it off. Cooper just runs into a brick wall, and that's apropos for the first half. As the Dragons, after the 65-yard touchdown run by Javon Fairley, have been stoned. And at the break, the Manning Tigers lead the Dragons 19-7. Again, DeRidder's defense has been on the field a long time. The story of the first half, a couple of missed opportunities, a couple of turnovers. More importantly, Javon Fairley's health and well-being. He goes down after the touchdown, and Manny has taken full advantage and played some pretty good defense in the process. They lead at the break 19-7. We will take about a 5-minute break, come back and reassess what is going on here in the first half, and come back, break it down, and then we'll maybe get a couple more scores from around the area. Again, at the break, Tigers lead the Dragons 19-7. You're listening to KROK 95.7.
September is Library Card Sign-Up Month, and the Beauregard Parish Library invites you to discover how a single card can open the door to endless opportunities. With a library card, you can do so much more than check out books, from free classes and job resources to homework help and much more. Having a library card brings endless possibilities for everyone. The card is free, easy, and empowering. For students, it's a key to academic success. For adults, it's a gateway to lifelong learning. For everyone, it's a smart way to stay connected to your community. Stop by any Beauregard Parish Library location to sign up for your card today, because with a Beauregard Parish Library card, the possibilities are truly endless.
Some call it over-planning. At Shawson Gas, we call it foresight. Be prepared for the next power outage with a Generac home standby generator. After sensing a power outage, a Generac generator automatically restores your home's power, whether you're home or away. Generac, it's not just a generator, it's a power move. Be prepared this hurricane season and call Shawson Gas at 337-239-2719 to get in line for your new Generac home standby generator. Financing available. Shawson Gas, located at 1107 South 5th Street in Leesville. Ask about their monitoring services for generators and propane tanks.
Are you paying your bank to hold your money? If so, it's time to make the switch to a bank with totally free checking. Sabine State Bank offers free checking with no fees, no minimum balance, no balance requirements, no analysis fees, and we still include check images in your statements without a fee. There is even a free small business account. If you really want free checking, stop by one of our convenient 45 locations. Sabine State Bank. Our goal, your future success. Member FDIC.
Sick and tired of feeling sick and tired? Okay, you've heard that one before. The proof is people leaving the chiropractic clinic with a little higher step in their walk, a broader smile, and generally feeling better after treatments from Dr. James Jenkins. From an auto accident to years of discomfort, Dr. Jenkins and feeling better is only a phone call away at 337-463-7313. Even the initial consultation is free. Living without pain, priceless. Better quality of living is an appointment away at the Chiropractic Clinic, 304 North Pine Street in DeRidder.
When Beauregard Electric Co-op powered up in 1939, its focus was on the future, always looking for better, more effective ways to supply electricity to our friends and community. In addition to this, supporting our local schools and students became key, as we know they would continue to fuel our future. Now, 85 years later, Beauregard Electric is still powering your life and continuing those traditions and morals. Beauregard Electric Co-op wishes all athletes a safe and successful football season.
It's fall on the Bend, the perfect time to enjoy the great outdoors on Toledo Bend. Sabine River Authority invites you to head to Toledo Bend, enjoy waterfront cabins at Cypress Bend Park or RVing at Pleasure Point and San Miguel Parks. There's plenty to do along Louisiana's largest waterway. Fish, boat, swim, and barbecue. Sabine River Authority, managing Louisiana's recreation destination. And this holiday season, plan a visit to Cypress Bend Park for festive holiday lights along the Bend. Sabine River Authority brings Toledo Bend to life.
It's common knowledge that Morris Tire serves the Leesville and DeRidder area for all of your tire needs. Did you also know that Morris Tire can handle your vehicle maintenance needs when it comes to brakes, oil, shocks, suspension, and alignments? 2 locations to better serve you. Take advantage of Morris Tire's quality care. Whether you live around Leesville or DeRidder, Morris Tire Service in DeRidder now has a brand new state-of-the-art alignment machine and a certified alignment tech. Stop in today and let Morris Tire take care of your alignment needs.
I just opened my student checking account at Barksdale Federal Credit Union, and it was so easy. No minimum deposit, free debit card with reward points, and they waived my monthly fee for just showing my proof of enrollment. Even my younger siblings can open one with a parent. If you're a student, you've got to check this out. Score more perks. Open your student checking at Barksdale Federal Credit Union today. Check them out at bfcu.org.
Must be under the age of 25 and enrolled in school. Minors must have a joint parent or guardian on the account. Federally insured by NCUA.
Iberia Comprehensive Community Health Center, Inc. strives to provide comprehensive health care to everyone, offering medical services to communities throughout Louisiana. They are proud to announce the opening of their newest health care center, coming to DeRidder this fall. DeRidder Community Health Center will be offering family medicine services at 427 North Pine Street, Suite A, DeRidder. For more information, visit their website, icchc.org.
This football season, don't fumble your chance. We've got unbeatable deals at Benoit Motors. We're your one-stop touchdown spot for Nissan, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Ford, Chevrolet, and GMC, and so much more. Whether you're calling the plays with a rugged Ram, driving a Nissan that's ready to blitz, or cruising in a Chevy or Ford built to dominate the road, we've got the lineup that scores every time. No interceptions here, just game-winning prices and customer service that makes you want to cheer. BuyBenoit.com. Huddle up and head over to Benoit Motors today.
Press box. I went over to the Manny radio crew. They have the AC unit, and I was just soaking it in for about 2 minutes over there, but it has been off the entirety of this one, and I don't know how we're making it, but I hope I've lost about 15 pounds here. We talk about, in football, you hear this all the time, Mike, a tale of two halves. I think this one, a tale of 2 quarters, is the way to put this. Look, the Dragons got the football after Manny deferred, so Manny's going to get the football to start the second half, and we'll tell you why that is a factor as well. So Manny wins the toss, defers. Dragons get it. They convert a third down, but again, the drive stalls out. They punt the ball. Manny starts on their own 18. On a 3rd and 11, you're looking to maybe get it back and pin, get it in decent territory, but again, it's been a 2-headed monster attack. Jonas Hendrickson goes 65-plus into Dragon territory on the 3rd and 11 on just a little toss or a toss counter. Again, a little misdirection play. But the Dragons hold on a 4th and 1. They stuff the run, and they take over. But again, at their own 14, that's going to be a trend as well, as we discussed this first half. The Dragons take over on their own 14. They punt. Again, Manny takes over at the Dragon 46. And mind you, the Dragons are on their 3rd punter. No teams have 2 punters. Barely teams have any punters. With the injuries to so many guys, it's been Luis Rodriguez, and he's done a pretty good job. But he punts this one to the Dragon 46. Manny goes 1 play, 46 yards. And it is the man who had 4 touchdowns and 290 on the ground last week for the Tigers, Daniel Thomas. He gets the edge on the near sideline towards us, tiptoes down the sideline and gets into the end zone. Extra point was good. So with 4:50 to play in the opening quarter, Manny leads 7-0. But Dragons get it on the kickoff. They start at their own 35. 1 play later, Javon Fairley picking up right where he left off last week, a 65-yard run, which would have been a touchdown in 2-hand touch, flag, whatever level of football you want to call it. The line parted like the Red Sea. He goes 65 yards. Extra point by Rodriguez is good. So 18 seconds later, we're knotted back up at 7 apiece. The Dragons force a punt, but on that 3rd down prior to the punt, again, we saw it in week 1. Connor Rushford goes down with the ankle injury on the first drive. Aaron Woods goes down last week as well, and it is arguably the biggest blow we've seen yet, as after Connor goes down, Javon has a 4-touchdown game. He scores on a 65-yard run and then injured on non-contact on the 3rd down, trying to change direction and go get another interception, and nobody touched him, and he laid on the field for quite some time, able to get up, but he has not returned to the game since. And since that play, it feels like the wind has came out of DeRidder's sails. And again, we said it not just, oh man, where are we going to get offensive production from? But it's one of your friends, one of your teammates, a guy you practice with every day. You've seen 3 or 4 of them go down the week before, and see Javon go down this week. You're wondering, when does it stop? Since that play, again, DeRidder forces the punt with 2:49 to play in the quarter. Dragons have it. High snap. Manny falls on it in the end zone, a 39-yard, basically scoop and score on the high snap, but the Dragons blocked the extra point. So, again, 13-7 with 2 minutes, 13 seconds playing the first quarter. This is all going on in the first quarter. Dragons get it right back and throw an interception. So 2 plays and 2 turnovers. Daniel Thomas starts the Tigers off Dragon 32, a couple of good runs, and the Dragons defense, which had been on the field since that injury a lot, they get the turnover. Daniel Mazik, interception. He had one last week, picks it off inside the 10, but again, the Dragons start from their own 7, have to punt. Manny gets it at the DeRidder 41, 31-yard run by Hendrickson, sets up the 8-yard touchdown run on a reverse play by, again, you've been seeing Thomas and Hendrickson wear you out. They go reverse to Keelan Maxey from 8 yards out. He punches it in. The 2-point try was no good. That was with 7:46 left in the half. After that, DeRidder goes punt, starting from their own 36. Again, a 3-and-out. The next drive, Manny's got a 4th and 3. They draw DeRidder offside, but you've been waiting on a break somehow to go your way. They get it. Thomas trying to get to the edge. Marcus March pokes it out, and Amari Willis scooped it up on the run, and he just had one man to beat, again, running to the end zone. But again, the recovery's made. The Dragons take over at the Manny 27. They don't gain a yard. They try a 41-yard field goal. It's no good by about 4 or 5 yards. So again, you get the turnover, you get the break you need. You're +1 in the turnover margin, but again, Manny leads where it counts. They punt after that, and again, the end of the half, Dragons just try to run out. They try to fumble Ruski, but kind of moved early and unable to, kind of burn that little trick play. That's where we're at the half. Manny leads 19-7. They'll get the football to start the second half. And, Mike, we said a tale of 2 quarters. First quarter looked like Dragons were involved. They were, even though they gave up a couple big plays, they were right back in it with a big play of their own, and they had a turnover. But even with 13-7, you felt pretty good. But since Fairley's been down, it looks like a very dejected sideline over there.
Well, and Sean, you hate to be a DeRidder announcer and say the score really is not indicative of the ball game, because Manny could have scored 2 more touchdowns.
Well, I think
the defense held.
I think you're actually correct, because you could flip it the other way.
Right.
And DeRidder's dropped 2 touchdown passes, wide open. And it's not indicative, because you could either be 21-19 or,
and you look,
18-16 or 19-16.
We're in a little booth, so you have to look in different directions. But then you look at the score, and it's 19-7.
Manny's had the football the entire first half.
You think it's like 40-7, and it really is not. And we just, it's like a deer in the headlight.
Yeah, you lose Connor Rushford last week. He's a guy who got over 1,000. Was all district. And you lose him week 1, you put up 42 because everybody else steps up. One of the guys that stepped up had 4 touchdowns last week, and he's gone down.
And he not only stepped up on offense, he stepped up on defense.
And special teams. He was
not playing either one of them.
The play that he got hurt on, he was probably about to make the interception on that one because the ball was up into the air for an eternity. He tried to change direction and just hit the deck there. But, again, you're seeing guys go down, the vibes and the energy, the pregame, you see all the fireworks, whatever, you get lost in that, but you look pretty good attitude and body language-wise. Man, since that Fairley injury, nothing's gone right for you. And then the one thing that did go right on defense, you didn't move it and missed the field goal. So it's just, you got to overcome it. There's a lot of young guys out on that field. We talked about it, a lot of sophomores on the field, but, one of them being your starting quarterback, he hadn't had to go his way either. Look, he's had the interception. He had the snap go over his head, trying to fall on it instead of scoop it up and run. He did the right thing. It popped out. He had a couple of guys drop touchdown passes. It's not going right for anyone, but somehow you're still in the game. And it's I tell you, if DeRidder's able to come back and win this game, it'd be a pretty gutsy win because they have not had anything go right for them since the Fairley 65-yard run, and that was only one play. And the DeRidder hadn't ran many on offense since then because they have not been able to move it. They've kind of been running into a brick wall. But Manny's had the football for an eternity, and that defense still, after having that many possessions, I mean, Manny has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the first half. They scored on defense on one of those. You've only given up 12 points. It's pretty remarkable. You're +1 in the turnover margin, and it feels like you're down 40. But they are down 12 at the break. Again, Manny will get it out of the locker room to start the second half. We've got 6 minutes left on the halftime clock as the DeRidder band has already performed. I believe this is the Manny band out there now.
And you know, Sean, it's I'm looking over on the DeRidder side. Really, about an hour from DeRidder to Manny up
it takes
171.
About an hour, 10 minutes.
Four-lane highway. There's not much of a crowd. I'm not being critical, but then we realize that mine and Sean's eyes are your eyes because you're not seeing what we're seeing, and it's just, you know, we're sitting here wondering, okay, what in the world can happen next?
Yeah,
but we're still in the ball game, and I know y'all think, you know, they must be drinking juju, and the only thing we're drinking is our own sweat.
Yeah, that's it.
But we're still in the ball
anything
game.
that's being drank is sweated out of my body.
God, if we could just score a quick touchdown, I mean, I'm like Sean. I mean, I know y'all think, God, we really haven't done anything other than Fairley's run. That was exciting. So what do? We just need a break.
Yeah, and again, you get the one break you need, and look,
can't do anything with it.
You can't fault Amari Willis. He scooped it up. Usually you don't see the big man pick it up off the ground like that, and he was able to scoop it in one motion and take off. He just had a guy to beat, and the guy made the tackle on him, but you still get the ball to 27, and you don't gain a yard. And look, I can probably say with confidence, Javon Fairley was very involved in the game plan this week at practice with Connor Rushford out. He was out. He wasn't playing.
No.
He's involved.
He had to be.
And for him to go out, it's going to throw everything else, into disarray, whatever. It's just you see him break one for 65, and you think, man, we're going to be able to do this pretty regularly tonight. He may have 3 or 4 of these things again if we could play this right. And then he goes down, and you're left scrambling with, well, Connor's down, Javon's down, and you've ran Jaden Cooper. And look, he doesn't really have much to work with because they know DeRidder's down to one guy, and we're going to just pin our ears back. We're playing pretty good on the back end, being able to press and be physical. But DeRidder's left some touchdowns on the table out there, and you got to make a play. Somebody's got to make a play. Look, when you're down, we said it. If DeRidder's ever pull this out, man, look, it'd be pretty gutsy because they've had some dudes go down, some very important guys in production on offense. But look, somebody has to step up, and I don't mean to harp on the kid because he's still a kid, but Jaden Merriweather's got to catch one. He's got to catch it for his sophomore quarterback. He's got to catch one in this second half, and we saw last week. He dropped a couple. He dropped a touchdown. Ended up having a big game with 65 yards. So you got to just flush everything. But somebody, one of the seniors that are out there, somebody has to step up and make a play, or else it's going to just be one of those sluggish, depressing nights, and you're going to walk out of here and be licking your wounds, getting ready to go to Newton next week.
Well, and John, and it's not that the defense is not playing a good ball game.
No, they've been out there all night.
I mean, they've been out there since yesterday.
Yeah, and
they're hot as we are.
Yeah, they've
we
been
know
moving.
It's not cold out there.
Exactly. It wasn't cold when I was on the field pregame, and look, it's just, and like, we're not being critical. It's just you're nobody's going to help you, and nobody feels sorry for you. This is a physical sport. Guys drop left and right all the time. They're not going to feel sorry for you because this was a Manny group that last year you had Hendrickson go down after week 3. You had Thomas go down after, I think, week 4. So they're not going to feel sorry for you. They had to go through it last year at 0-10. And, it's just somebody's got to step up and make a play. You saw a couple of guys do it. You saw Daniel Mazik make an interception. Amari Willis with the scoop after March poked it out. You gotta break through. And I think if you can get one of those big plays, DeRidder will get some confidence back and try to hang in there and just make this a one-score game, and we'll see what happens.
I know.
So with that, we'll take a minute timeout. We got 2 minutes left on the game clock over there. And we will have second half action. The Tigers will get it out of the locker room. But again, we'll take a minute break. Come back with second half kickoff. You're listening to KROK 95.7.
With Champion Homes Leesville, you'll always be on the winning team. Champion offers high-quality HUD-manufactured homes at less than half the average price of new site-built homes. No need to wait either. Their efficient off-site construction techniques help you get your new Champion home faster than ever. Visit championhomes.com to search through their signature models like Bourbon, Creole, Pelican, and the Orleans. These are just a few of their top models. Then select Request Info to be connected to one of their many statewide retailers near you. Champion Homes, building up Louisiana one home at a time.
Mid-South Forestry Equipment in Manny, formerly Patrick Miller Tractor, would like you to know that we're still providing the same great service that our customers have come to depend on. Our name may have changed, but our commitment to the community is still the same. We look forward to continuing to service all your Tiger Cat, Kubota, Land Pride, and Bad Boy needs. Stop in and say hi or give us a call at 318-256-5686 for more information. That's Mid-South Forestry Equipment in Manny, formerly Patrick Miller Tractor.
Ready to huddle it up and just, I don't know what you can say, but you just rally them up and say, we got 2 more quarters to get after it. And again, the Manny Tigers and first-year head coach Tyler Hassel looking to get to 2-0. They have a 12-point lead as they are running through their final preparations here before we start the second half. Dragons heading the sideline over across the way.
Well, Sean, it sounds like we're in a dive at LSU right now. But if they ever open up all these doors, we might get a little air.
Where did you say it felt like we were?
Yeah.
Look, I'll tell you, it feels like I was a freshman year at Reggie. It's hot, sweating. I'm not intoxicated. That's about the only thing. But I'm sweaty. There's loud music. I can hear it through my headset. That feels like I'm at Reggie's freshman year.
Well, Sean and I have both been in lots of press boxes, and we've been in press boxes where...
Well, I've been in press boxes. I've called games from the bleachers.
Yep.
I told him earlier, the last time I was here at this school was for softball quarters, and I didn't have a press box. I was right there behind the plate, and it was a scorcher. I think it was hotter. It's hotter in here than it was in April or May, whenever that was.
Well, you're not catching any breeze in here.
No, I was thinking about being like the Kool-Aid man and just busting his glass window out. But, again, I don't think we catch much of a breeze. Again, the radio crew for the Tigers, they've been sucking up all the AC in there. They got the door closed and everything.
Well, and Sean's going back to Baton Rouge tomorrow. Tigers are going to play the Gators. Gators got upset.
Again, yeah.
There'll be big ball game, a lot of big ball games on TV tomorrow.
I think it's going to be close, closer than people think. Spread's 8.5. That's still an SEC rivalry game. If you don't think, your thought process is, well, Florida didn't look very good last week. Well, LSU's the number 3 team in the country. I mean, LSU's kind of swept-walk through. They're not healthy. They're at home. You think, that's a blowout city there at home in Tiger Stadium. But those games could go any way. We thought LSU was the better team last year, and they went to the swamp and got beat. So they're going to be able to. They got to be able to run the football. Just line up and run it, not have to run 42 motions and end arounds and reverses. They got to just line it up and run it tomorrow. And
Sean, it was like I told my son back when in the dark ages when I lived in Tiger Stadium. LSU could run the ball big time, had tremendous running backs, had excellent quarterbacks. Just didn't throw very much.
Yeah, and I mean, you
now we got totally different, excellent quarterbacks, and we can't run.
No, and again, it could be by design. Like I said, you don't want to be too harsh on Joe Sloan because the team is number 3 in the country. They got
no.
But the scheme just doesn't look right, and it looked this way last year. But a
lot of people don't like Brian Kelly. But it took about 3 years to get head over around out of this system.
That's fine if you don't like it. I don't care. I don't even have to like it as long as he wins. I mean, the Patriots, everybody on the Patriots roster hated Bill Belichick. It didn't matter because they won. And
Alabama's not very happy right now.
No, I mean, that's the thing. So, back to action here at Tiger Stadium, the Manny Tiger Stadium. And it will be the Manny Tigers with football to start. Again, Dragons trail 19-7 after just kind of a gritty depressing first half, as that one end over end will be fielded at the 20, and Thomas will just catch that one in a whistle, and everybody kind of puts on the brakes. I didn't hear a whistle either. They may be re-racking it again here, as it's a pretty good kick.
Okay, Sean, I'm going to make a prediction.
What you got?
DeRidder 21, Manny 19.
So shutout by the defense.
Defense is not going to give up any points, and somehow we're going to score. I know everybody.
Somehow, okay.
I know everybody just fell out of their chairs laughing at me. But I just got that feeling. We just need a break.
Here we go. I've wrote it down. So
21 to 19.
It's on the air. It's on my paper. 21-19.
And it may be the heat.
I think it's the heat. It's the heat. I've done some pretty crazy things, too. So Thomas back. Rodriguez will get some exercise here as he kicks this one. That one deeper than the first. And catching it inside the 10 at the 9. And that is going to be Peyton Hyde at number 2.
And that wasn't
that's Maxey. I thought that was 2. That was 7. So it is the heat. Pretty good return there. Looks like the 26-yard line, so put it at the 9, 17-yard return, if my math's correct. So opening drive of the second half. I will brave this heat.
He still hadn't taken his shirt off. I'm excited.
He should be. I'll clear this place
All
out.
those muscles.
Hand off to Thomas. Makes a man miss at the point of attack, and a couple of guys trying to strip at the football, but it'll be about a 7-yard gain there to start off the opening drive. Looks like maybe gain of 6.
Boy, he picked up lots of yards.
They call it 7, but I think it's...
It'd be nice, Dragon fans, if we could get a break here on the first series.
So there's a gain of 7. Kellen Cox. And hadn't had to do much in the air. It's only an interception. It has been Hendrickson and Thomas. They'll hand it off. Thomas gets through the first wave again and carries Dragon defenders across the 40 to the 41. First down, Manny. They'll move the chains.
And you know, Sean, if you're playing defense and you realize they're not going to throw the ball or probably not going to throw the ball, you just give in to the run.
Yeah, eventually you'll start to see, again, DeRidder can't, they're not going to be able to just sit back with the offense kind of struggling the way they have. They're going to have to try to create something. And again, they have. They're +1 in the turnover margin. They're going to have to sell out eventually as Manny
they just can't play the whole game on defense.
They'll pop it out here to Thomas. Pretty good tackle there by Thompson. And Amari Willis comes up slow. He's down at the 42-yard line in some pain. He was able to recover that fumble in the first half, but again, Dragons dropping left and right, and again, this will be a big blow here to the defense. So we will take a minute break. Again, injury timeout. Amari Willis down on the field. 10.5 minutes playing the third, 19-7 Manny. You're listening to KROK 95.7.
The best steakhouse in Leesville, you may ask? Why, that would be the Wagon Master Steakhouse, of course. Cut fresh daily, certified Angus beef sirloins, ribeyes, fillets, and so much more. Tender, juicy steaks, chicken, burgers, or even some fried fish. With all the selections on their kid menus, even the pickiest little cowpoke in your family will have their taste buds satisfied. Enjoy one of their many ice-cold draft beer selections. Watch the game while chowing down on one of their delicious appetizers like a tumbleweed or some bacon-wrapped shrimp. Open daily at 11 a.m. Sure hope to see y'all soon at Wagon Master Steakhouse in Leesville.
You need a bank like a great oak tree with roots that run deep in the community and wide branching arms that give you comfort and relief knowing you're covered from the storm. Beauregard Federal Savings Bank is there for you. Their roots run so deep, they've been serving the DeRidder community ever since 1948. Their staff have been trained on the same values of quality customer service and personal treatment since the bank's founding. From loans to debit cards to IRAs, online banking, and other services, Beauregard Federal Savings Bank, 337-463-4493.
And slightly jog over to the sidelines. That's a good sign. Might have been cramping up, but they were working on that knee. After the 4-yard gain, it'll be 2nd and 6. Again, minute and a half gone here in the second half. Manny with the football, opening drive of the second half. They lead 19-7.
Big defensive play, Sean.
Another Dragon out. This time, Amari Willis. They'll go up the middle, and this time, minimal gain. Thomas.
Got to bring up fourth down.
And it looks like on the alignment there, they had Zayden Scott, and it looks like Willis is coming back in. So maybe it was just a cramp. You hope?
I hope.
As he'll be, it's kind of rolled linebacker Zayden Scott down kind of close to that edge there and try to maybe beef up that line. And now Willis back in for a big third down. Ball's at the 46. Got to get to the Dragon 49.
And, Sean, if they don't punt, we've got excellent field position.
Big play here on the
don't jump.
3rd and 5. They'll toss it out and trying to get the edge.
Yeah.
Thomas does, and he is tripped up about 2 yards past the sticks. He'll move the chains for the Tigers. Again, just able to get the edge. Dragons trying to kind of shoot that gap there and get up the field, but Manny able to just get it out on the perimeter.
And the bad thing is when Manny runs the ball, Dragon fans, as much as they are, burning lots of clock.
Yeah, they don't care what the score is. They're going to run it regardless. But with the 12-point lead and the football, they look to get this into the end zone, but more importantly, just burn the clock. And they go up quick. The dive to Hendrickson, and Hendrickson carries the pile with him, and he'll pick up another first down, 12-yard gain on that one for Jonas Hendrickson. And again, just showing the will there as we said that they'll run it. 8:45 to play in the third. They want to obviously punch this in. If you're Mandy, you want to punch this in for 6, but you want to bleed the clock as well and get a couple more scores. So 1st and 10, ball at the 35. They'll toss it to Thomas. Nobody out on the edge. He cuts it back up. He's into the second level, makes a man miss, breaks the tackle at the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Tigers. What a run by Thomas. And a couple of guys down for the Dragons. They're helped up at the 15, but he made a couple of guys miss. Man, what a run by Thomas.
Well, so much for my prediction.
And, yeah,
that went out the door.
Mike Isles' 21-19 is completely gone. A drive in, but a really sensational individual effort there by Thomas, and he punches it in for his second score of the night, and that makes it 25-7. Tigers will line up to go for 2. And again, it's been an interesting.
Hard to believe we scored 40 points last week.
Yeah, but again, you had a guy that had 4 of them that scored 1 in one play. He hadn't played since. So toss it out to Thomas. This time he's bottled up. And the 2-point try is no good. So with 8:24 to play in the third, Manny adds on. Daniel Thomas, he has put on a show. 25-7, Manny leads. Ritter getting it up next. 30-second break. You're listening to KROK 95.7.
Jackson Hewitt makes taxes feel like a yacht rock song.
Give me my biggest tax refund, please. You, me, and a lifetime accuracy guarantee.
And now get $100 just to try Jackson Hewitt. Does your tax person do that?
Say goodbye to that no guarantee tax guy.
Ready to sail through tax season? Go to Jackson Hewitt and you'll be limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
Back here at Manny's, Daniel Thomas, 35-yard touchdown run. He's had a 46-yarder and a 35-yarder, and he looks pretty fresh out there against that Dragon defense that did not allow anything on the ground last week. And his punt is not going to go out of bounds. Somebody's got to get on it. It's live, and they do. They'll fall on it at about the 18. But again, I was watching the Jamboree. Rose Pine played here. And the Turf done some interesting things. Manny kicked the ball off kind of in the void around the 40 and the 30, and it bounced straight up and backwards. Almost, you couldn't hit a golf shot better than that. And that one, again, took a pretty precarious bounce over there. Dragons able to get on it. They trail 25-7. It's getting late early, but they will start, again, deep in their own territory. Ball at the 18. They need a quick play big time here, but it has just not come quickly since the Fairley touchdown and injury. And they'll hand it off, and again, absolutely nothing doing there as the man formerly known as Tackett Curtis wore number 4. That wasn't him. Tristan Manasco now wears that number 4. And again, he's not even on the roster here in number 4. I was looking at that when I was watching film. He was in 54, but he's number 4. He makes a play for a loss of 3. Ball on the ground on the exchange, and bad to worse if this is Manny football, and it is. So again, another turnover on the exchange. Manny gets it deep into Dragon territory, and they are looking to put it away here. 7:54 remaining in the third. Didn't see who was on the recovery. But again, ball just kind of got loose back there on the exchange. Tigers will have it on the Dragon 14-yard line, and a defense that has been out there a while has to try one more time to keep Tigers out of the end zone. More importantly, you need to keep them out of any kind of scoring here. So 1st and 10 from the 14. Tigers line up 2 receivers to the near side. And now hand it off to Anderson. He'll try to bounce it outside. Now he cuts it in at the 5. He's still on his feet. Pushed inside the 5 to the 1. And again, just tough running. They are starting to lean on the Dragon defense. You can kind of see the life being sucked out of the Dragons here on this drive. And
Dragon fans, we stood him up, and his back is to the goal, and the Dragon tackler comes and hits him from the front, almost knocks him in the end zone. Who was the dude that said the final score would be 21 tonight?
That was you about 5 minutes ago. Hendrickson with a 13-yard run. Manny in the eye. 2 receivers to the far side, but I know they're probably not throwing the football here. They go to Hendrickson, and he bowling balls into the end zone for a 1-yard touchdown to finish off the scoring drive in 2 plays. Hendrickson into the end zone for the touchdown, and it is now 31-7 Manny.
China will run played 5 minutes. And that's not good.
Goodman back there to attempt the extra point. They've been unsuccessful on a couple of 2-point tries. Snaps down, holds good. And this one is high and no good. He must have missed it right. So the extra point is no good. 31-7, Tigers lead. We will take a 30-second timeout. You were listening to KROK 95.7.
September is Library Card Sign-Up Month, and the Beauregard Parish Library invites you to discover how a single card can open the door to endless opportunities. With a library card, you can do so much more than check out books, from free classes and job resources to homework help and much more. Having a library card brings endless possibilities for everyone. The card is free, easy, and empowering. For students, it's a key to academic success. For adults, it's a gateway to lifelong learning. For everyone, it's a smart way to stay connected to your community. Stop by any Beauregard Parish Library location to sign up for your card today, because with a Beauregard Parish Library card, the possibilities are truly endless.
It is all over the Wampus Cats 35-7 at the break as Mazik fields this one. He's got a big hole trying to get to the outside and nearly gets the ball poked away from behind. But again, a good return for the Dragons. They needed that, and they need points. Looking at some more scores here. Looks like Pickering down 29-0 at the break. But again, we will have the Wampus Cats next week against these Manny Tigers. Manny looking really good. Leesville up at Tioga, getting all they can from the Indians. So good return there by Zeke. He's had a good game. He had the interception, had one last week. And back there, returning kickoffs because Javon's down, but he made a pretty good return there. The ball will... Oh, now we got a flag. I didn't even see a flag thrown. And a block in the back. So bad to worse there. Again, as if it hasn't been bad enough. So that'll move it back to the 32. Again, DeRidder they need any kind of break they can get down 31-7. They'll hand it off, and Cooper with a big run. He's shaking off Manny Tigers left and right, and that is the biggest play from scrimmage in a long time for Jake Cooper. He's probably relieved to he felt contact the whole way, but able to get a big run. Goes all the way from the 32 of DeRidder into Manny territory at the 39. So,
Dragon fans, we're just running our regular offense up the middle, up the middle, up the middle. We're back up underneath center now.
Formation under center. Before we can do anything here, Manny will take a timeout. We'll take it with him. 30-second break, 6.5 to play in the third. All Manny over DeRidder, 31-7. You're listening to KROK 95.7.
Some call it over-planning. At Shawson Gas, we call it foresight. Be prepared for the next power outage with a Generac home standby generator. Nothing beats the sweet satisfaction of knowing you'll have power where and when you need it most. After sensing a power outage, a Generac generator automatically restores your home's power, whether you're home or away. Generac generators are permanently installed and can power your whole house or just the essentials. And with Mobile Link, a remote monitoring system, you can check the status of your generator from anywhere at any time. So while the rest of the block is lighting candles and digging around looking for flashlights, you'll be ready to rock and roll. Get to know America's favorite home standby generator and show the power grid who's boss. Generac, it's not just a generator, it's a power move. Be prepared this hurricane season and call Shawson Gas at 337-239-2719 to get in line for your new Generac home standby generator. Financing available. Shawson Gas, located at 1107 South 5th Street in Leesville. Ask about their monitoring services for generators and propane tanks.
That's the Manny 39-yard line. They'll go right back to him. He gets hit immediately, tries to bounce off. And again, the Manny defense swarms to the football. Cole O'Con coming up from the safety spot, finishes off Cooper.
Well, Sean, I'm not being critical because I know you and Chaz used to call all of the different ball games, and I'm always at the DeRidder ball game. And you run the ball up the middle. Every now and then you break it. But if it's not breaking, it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, but I can choose before the first quarter, halfway through, you didn't think you'd lose Javon. So you don't really have much game plan-wise. So they got a hydration break. Take a 30-second timeout. Dragons take the second and 12. You're looking to KROK 95.7.
Are you paying your bank to hold your money? If so, it's time to make the switch to a bank with totally free checking. Sabine State Bank offers free checking with no fees, no minimum balance, no balance requirements, no analysis fees, and we still include check images in your statements without a fee. There is even a free small business account. If you really want free checking, stop by one of our convenient 45 locations. Sabine State Bank. Our goal, your future success. Member FDIC.
Back here at Manny, out of the hydration break. Kinder up on Iota at the half, 32-13. The Yellow Jackets, and that's the team we had Coach Justin Reed listening to the broadcast last night. That's because his Jackets will have the Rose Pine Eagles at their place next week. And Coach Reed's got a really good team down there at Kinder. We told you already we'll be on Today's Country 105.7 next Friday night at Wampus Cat Stadium. That one swung out into the flats. It was caught, but immediately paying the price. Cash Oxley has been all over the field tonight. Merriweather makes the catch, but he might have gotten a yard on the little quick out. And we've said Cash Oxley's name about 5 or 6 times tonight, and he is playing real sticky out there on the edge, and he laid the wood.
Actually lost the yard.
Oh, they're putting it up. Got a yard.
Yeah, they moved it.
But he was not giving up any more yards. It was one, and then he ran to the football. Third down, they'll hand it off. And a good push initially. He'll get to the 35. That's where they'll mark it before forward progress is stopped. It's a manageable fourth down. Got to get to the 29-yard line of Manny here. The ball sits at the 35. So 4th and 6. 5 minutes to play in the third. Dragons obviously got to go for it down 31-7. They'll look to throw. Parmley throws one up for grabs, and Merriweather will get the late flag, and he's been begging for one there. Again, good coverage by Bell, but a lot of physical coverage by Bell as well. So that ball actually was not really thrown well, but you throw it up, let your guy go fight for it, and that's what Merriweather did.
Got rid of it in a hurry.
And again, much to the chagrin of everybody in DeRidder Blue, and like I said, I've seen it, the reputation's there, and it's been physical out there all night, but the Dragons finally get a bailout call here, move it deeper into Tiger territory. That was a 4th and 6.
Been very few penalties.
Yeah, I mean, maybe 3, 2?
Yeah,
two penalties. So the Dragons' drive will continue.
First down was Dragons. 20-yard line.
Again, I don't mind a 3-penalty game. They'll hand this one off quickly. Bouncing off a couple of tackles. Still on his feet inside the 10, and Cooper just dragging Manny Tigers with him. Again, he's starting to run with some physicality here late. And on the 7 of Manny, it'll be 1st and goal. So DeRidder knocking on the door here. 4.5 to play in the third quarter. They'll split Merriweather and Walker out to the near side. Cooper in the backfield. Parmley under set. They'll hand it off to him, and he'll be stopped as he gets to the 5-yard line.
Second and goal upcoming for the Dragons.
I'm sorry, actually, I think move it back. No, there it goes on the 5.
5-yard line.
So second and goal from the 5 after the run from Jaden Cooper. And they'll go with the big, heavy formation back there in the power T. Grant Cooper in the middle. They'll go to Jaden Cooper. He's able to bounce it outside and get inside the 5, but again, minimal yardage. We saw Grant Cooper out of that formation last week score from a yard out.
Brings up third down and goal for the Dragons.
And we talked about Devon last week having touchdowns and interceptions, but you look at it, Grant Cooper's was minimal yards-wise, but he had a rushing touchdown, a fumble recovery, and an interception. So everybody kind of pitching in. We said last week, third down and goal from the 4. And in that power formation under center is Parmley. They'll go to Jaden Cooper, and he is stoned as he gets to about the 3 or the 2. And again, just nothing doing down here inside the 5. Dragons obviously are going to go for it here on 4th and goal, down 24. 3 minutes and counting left to play in the third quarter. Manny leads 31-7. So 4th and goal from the 2-yard line. Going to have to get a little creative here. Play under center. They'll hand it quickly up the middle and into the end zone for the touchdown. Go the Dragons. And I was trying to see who ran that one in there.
I wish I could help you, but I'm looking at
I mean, in that formation, you've had Jaden Cooper carrying it a bunch. Grant Cooper's in the middle, and I believe Paxton is in as well. Look, I'm not sure who scored it. We'll figure it out because, again, it was a rugby scrum down there, but the Dragons will go for 2. It is a 2-yard touchdown run on 4th and goal. So the Dragons will line up for 2. We'll try to get you whoever that touchdown was. You usually don't like doing that, but we really couldn't tell.
I don't think the PA announcers announced.
Parmley in the gun. He'll throw the fade route over into the corner and making the catch over there. That is a great adjustment on the football. Pretty good coverage, but it didn't matter because Walker makes the catch over there. I'm sorry, it's Merriweather. And the Dragons convert 2-point play. So 31-15 our score. With 2:30 to play in the third, take a 30-second timeout. You were listening to KROK 95.7.
Sick and tired of feeling sick and tired? Okay, you've heard that one before. The proof is people leaving the chiropractic clinic with a little higher step in their walk, a broader smile, and generally feeling better after treatments from Dr. James Jenkins. From an auto accident to years of discomfort, Dr. Jenkins and feeling better is only a phone call away at 337-463-7313. Even the initial consultation is free. Living without pain, priceless. Better quality of living is an appointment away at the Chiropractic Clinic, 304 North Pine Street in DeRidder.
So 2.5 minutes to play here in the third quarter. The Dragons march it from their own 32-yard line. Longest scoring drive of the evening. That one goes 68. Longest was 65, and that was a one-play drive. They get the 2, which was a great catch by Merriweather. Again, we said it. Jaden Merriweather's going to have to make a play, and he goes up and climbs the ladder for the jump ball. So the touchdown, again, still up for grabs. Might have been Mike Isles might have scored it.
Nope.
We don't know.
Step ladder.
We don't know who scored because it was, again, a bunch of white. We've asked the coaches to our left. They don't know.
Oh, gosh.
So Manny, for the moment, leads 31-15. You get a stop here, a score. It's getting interesting. The Dragons had to have it. It converted a couple of fourth downs. They got bailed out on the 4th and 6 on a PI, and then a 4th and goal from the 2. A 2-yard run by somebody in white. And then the 2-point play to Merriweather from Michael Parmley. A good throw to the back pylon on the far side over there. And Dragons going from left to right on your radio dial. And we kicked it, but we'll kick again. Now the penalty flag's starting to fly here in the second half.
Offsides on the kickoff team.
Offsides on the kickoff team. Can't have that. So Keelan Maxey back there. He scored on a handoff or reverse for the Manny Tigers. He's back deep.
We're only down 2 touchdowns. That does sound funny, doesn't it?
Rodriguez puts the boot into this one, and he'll send Maxey back to the 21. And off he goes. Looking to get the outside, and he will be tripped up, but still on his feet. Dragons trying to strip it out of there. He's all the way up to the 39. Again, they were trying to get the ball out, but instead he gains about 9 more yards. It turns into a pretty good return for Maxey and the Tigers.
And Sean, I always think you're trying to strip it. That's not doing you any good.
Well, you can't do it with a quarter and some change to play. You do that kind of down late in the game, and again, it cost them about 10 yards of field position there. They had him wrapped up inside about the 29. He gets all the way to the 39.
Okay, Dragons fans, we're only down 2 touchdowns.
31-15.
16 points.
2 touchdowns and two point conversions, which the Dragons have converted one of those just moments ago. We still have no idea who the touchdown was scored by. There were 3 guys back there. One of them got the football. And I'm not the only one. The coaching staff had no idea.
All right, Sean, we need a break.
Kellen Cox under center in that double wing formation. They'll hand it to Thomas, and he's got a break, and he is gone. The 20-10-5, Daniel Thomas, touchdown, 1 play, 61 yards. He has runs of 61, 46, and 35. And just like that, Manny gets those points back in 20 seconds on the touchdown by Daniel Thomas, his 3rd of the night. Again, wasn't touched at the line of scrimmage, and he got to the second level, and there's not very many people faster than him on the field right now.
Well, Dragons fans, I think Sean and I were as close to catching him as the Dragon was.
No, I couldn't have caught him. I'd have passed out from his stroke.
Well, I couldn't have caught him in Jasper's truck.
No, he was
out the back end.
He was gone.
And they're not doing anything except running. That's all they're doing.
Lining up to go for 2, but before they do, Tigers will take a timeout on the 2-point play. You never want to see that. We'll keep it right here. Again, Daniel Thomas, who ran for 290 and 4 tuds last week, he's got 3, and the yards are piling up because he has touchdown runs of 61, which was moments ago. He has a 35-yard touchdown run and a 46-yard touchdown run. 2 of the Manny scoring drives have come on 1 play, which has been a carry by Thomas. And again, this one at the worst possible time. When you cut the lead to 16, you give it right up 20 seconds later. And right now, 37-15, and Manny lining up for 2 here.
Hey, Dragons fans, he is an excellent ball carrier.
Yeah, look, you said it.
You can't. Once he breaks in the open,
this is a team that last year went 0-10. He goes down a few weeks into the season. Just the body language looked better last week, and they ran it up and down the field on the Logansport Tigers, and they are doing the same thing to DeRidder, who, again, did not give up anything on the ground last week. They'll throw this one. Cox got a man wide open in the flats, and it hits him right in the worst spot possible, in the hands, and falls incomplete. Again, that was intended wide open out there. Ryland Lee, no good. We'll take a 30-second timeout. Manny leads her to 37-15. You're listening to KROK 95.7.
When Beauregard Electric Co-op powered up in 1939, its focus was on the future, always looking for better, more effective ways to supply electricity to our friends and community. In addition to this, supporting our local schools and students became key, as we know they would continue to fuel our future. Now, 85 years later, Beauregard Electric is still powering your life and continuing those traditions and morals. Beauregard Electric Co-op wishes all athletes a safe and successful football season.
Back here in Manny, where after the Dragon touchdown, which felt like pulling teeth, you had to get a fourth down pass interference to keep you alive, and then a 4th and goal from the 2. You get the 2-point play, and then Manny goes one play, 61 yards. Daniel Thomas, his 3rd of the night. 2-point try fails, and now Tigers now lead 37-15. That kickoff goes out of bounds. So, decent field position here for the Dragons, who you got to answer quickly. And, again, we said it took a lot to go right on that previous drive. It's just, again, it's been a really frustrating game since the middle of the first quarter. And you know, there's some of it's been self-inflicted. You've had some drops, some turnovers. But, man, you lose a guy that scored you 4 touchdowns last week after getting one from 65 out, it can take it out of you. The Dragons will have it.
And Sean, it hasn't been an easy game to announce, has it?
Not with the no AC.
No. Well, that didn't help anyway. But
listen, I've called some bad football. I've called bad football. I've called great football. But it's been tough, and DeRidder hasn't made it easier on themselves. Like we said, you get the score and then right back at it. Manny scores on the next play. So Parmley under center. He'll hand it off. Cooper weaving in and out, and he is stuck. And, man, Jonas Henderson has been doing it on offense. He comes up and lays the wood and drives Cooper back. Henderson's been running the ball. That time he ran right through the DeRidder tailback. But, again, Cooper's he's earning it tonight, man. He's been taking a beating back there. He's the only guy healthy, as your 2 other ones have been out. You didn't think you'd lose one of the 2 tonight. You do in the first quarter. So he's been back there just getting it just about every play. Parmley throws the slant route. It's caught right shy of midfield by Walker on the slant.
And Sean, we really hadn't talked about Connor Rushford. I know his mother posted last week that it was a sprain.
Yeah, I had actually messaged her on Tuesday asking how's it. And I meant to do it on Friday night, but I got home, just checking. And I got home and passed out. I had to get up the next morning, but I sent her a message Tuesday and said, he's hoping to play as soon as possible, but, and then, like we said, you don't expect your next guy to go down as Cooper, goodness gracious alive. Is that Hendrickson again? Man, he is getting downhill from that safety spot, and he laid the wood to Cooper. He got a yard and then went backwards, so actually they're going to call it no gain because it was at the 49, and it is still at the 49, 4th and 1. And I would try to run it away from number 5 on the Manny Tiger defense. Problem is he is creeping up. They'll run the tush-push, and he got it by about a yard as the pile continues to push. Michael Parmley comes out of the fray at about the 47-yard line, so he got more than a yard. And that'll be a first down. Dragons move the chains. 18 seconds to play in the third. They may just let this go to the 4th, but if you're DeRidder, you kind of want to steal a play here before the quarter ends. 10 seconds to play. They'll get out there fairly quickly. Walker to the near side. Merriweather up top of the formation. They'll toss it to Cooper. He's looking to get the edge. He splits the tackle. He's up across the line of scrimmage. Maybe a couple. He'll go out of bounds, and the clock is at 0 for the moment. And indeed, that will be the end of the third quarter. We will flip sides of the field. Bring you the final 12 minutes. Dragons need a comeback. They have the football trailing 37-15. We'll take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to KROK 95.7.
It's fall on the Bend, the perfect time to enjoy the great outdoors on Toledo Bend. Sabine River Authority invites you to head to Toledo Bend. Enjoy waterfront cabins at Cypress Bend Park or RVing at Pleasure Point and San Miguel Parks. There's plenty to do along Louisiana's largest waterway. Fish, boat, swim, and barbecue. Sabine River Authority, managing Louisiana's recreation destination. And this holiday season, plan a visit to Cypress Bend Park for festive holiday lights along the Bend. Sabine River Authority brings Toledo Bend to life.
KROK Southport Pole.
In the final quarter here in Manny, and the Tigers lead the Dragons 37-15. We start the final 12 minutes. Dragons will have it. And a 4th and 1. Michael Parmley on the quarterback sneak, able to pick up more than enough. So they're into Manny territory. Ball just over the 45-yard line at the 40. We'll still call it the 45. The nose of, and now they move it backwards. So, nose of the football at 45. Dragons need to score quickly, and then they got to figure out a stop here. 2nd and 8. 2 receivers to the far side. They'll hand it off. Cooper with a nice run, and it'll make a 3rd and manageable. He picks up 3.
You know, that's good blocking by the offensive line. Opened up a fairly big hole for him.
And again, Cooper he's a sophomore, so he's got a lot of responsibility tonight, and he's handled it pretty well.
Well, and if y'all didn't hear us at the beginning, we started 7 sophomores tonight. That doesn't happen.
And we've called quite a few of their names multiple times. I know we've called McCann's name quite a bit as well. Jack McCann's playing linebacker. Now they'll go back to Cooper. He spins off a couple of defenders. He's still on his feet, and he is a body slam down. And my goodness, Jonas Hendrickson putting on a highlight tape here in this one on both sides of the football as he picks up the sophomore and pretty much suplexes him to the turf there. And that'll bring up a 4th and 4 from the 40. Sorry, it looks like 4th and 3. I beg your pardon. Dragons get to the line quickly. Under center goes Parmley. He'll move Havens across the formation at tight end. Trying to jump the Tigers off sides with a hard count, and Tigers key the football, and a timeout will be called by DeRidder. We'll take a 30-second timeout. Big 4th down coming up. You were listening to KROK 95.7.
It's common knowledge that Morris Tire serves the Leesville and DeRidder area for all of your tire needs. Did you also know that Morris Tire can handle your vehicle maintenance needs when it comes to brakes, oil, shocks, suspension, and alignments? 2 locations to better serve you. Take advantage of Morris Tire's quality care. Whether you live around Leesville or DeRidder, Morris Tire Service in DeRidder now has a brand new state-of-the-art alignment machine and a certified alignment tech. Stop in today and let Morris Tire take care of your alignment needs.
The Dragons will face a 4th, and it looks like about 3. Got to get to the 37 of Manny. Ball sits on the 40, the near hash, close to us. And they trail 37-15, 10.5 to play in the game. And both teams 1-0. Dragons cut it to 16 moments ago, and then a play later, Manny answers right back with a score of their own. The Dragons really need to answer back. Play action. Parmley going deep. He's got a man down there and a lot of contact. And there is the flag. He had tried to get it to Walker. Walker had single coverage and had position. But again, a lot of hand checking. We say it. There's a reputation here. You can get away with it. The Legion of Boom got away with it in Seattle. Yeah, back judges got the best view of it, and they will move the chains. Again, that'll be interference on Manny. The second flag that's been thrown, but there's been a lot more contact. Again, they get away with it up here. I can most notably remember on a halfback pass, Grant Ducote trying to throw it on the far sideline, and they absolutely mauled the intended receiver. No call. That would have been for a touchdown. No flag whatsoever on that one. That was still some old wounds back in the day, but Mike, actually, you talk about you playing back in the dark ages. I'll tell you a little bit after this play here as the Dragons have a first down at the 25. I'll tell you a little fun fact. I've mentioned it on our broadcast quite a bit. Under center goes Parley. Now we got a whistle. 9:42 to play on the clock, so hydration break not in effect here. That's what I was thinking, 10 or 15. I'd be sorting out the penalty yardage. And the Dragons will huddle up. Manny coming into a kind of a light huddle. Now they'll reset. I think they're trying to discuss just whatever they do, don't take 15 minutes like last night. We had to sort something out. I thought I was in the legislature. They didn't get anything done. They just talked. And right now the ball sits at 25. And they do have the refs mic'd up, and it'll stay there. So I don't know what happened. Anybody? Oh, the time. Okay. They were resetting the clock. So 10:05 to play, as about 9.5 had been on the clock, I think. Farmley under center. So hands it off. Cooper runs into a brick wall, bounces off, and then a host of red Manny Tiger jerseys converge. So my last game I played in high school was on this field. My senior year of high school. We played in the playoffs, second round, lost 21-7. They didn't have all this. None of this. None of this turf. None of the turf, and it was about 19 degrees.
Wow.
And
no, I tell you what.
I did not play defense, so that means
if you've never been to Manny High
chilling over there, freezing to death.
Facilities are excellent.
Well,
press box leaves a lot to be desired.
I was going to say, you say the facilities, but I'm going to include the press box in those facilities as they'll toss to Cooper. He's got the corner. He is off to the races inside the 10, the 5. He tiptoes down the sideline. They have not marked him in. I think he's going to be down at the 4. But Jaden Cooper able to get the edge for the first time in a while. He had a guy grabbing onto the jersey at about the 10, shakes him off. They'll mark him down at the 5. So first and goal for the Dragons. Again, another run by the sophomore. He has put in a pretty good effort tonight. Ball at the 4. And he probably has 35 carries tonight.
I'm going to use my big word, yeoman.
I almost just said yeoman's word. He's done yeoman's work. They'll go right back to him. He is bouncing off a couple of defenders. He's still on his feet. And finally, Forward Progress stops. Looks like at the 2-yard line. But, yeah, yeoman's work, any kind of superlative you want to throw in there, he's done it. Yeoman's work, he's just, like I said, he gets another carry, and a lot of them aren't free release into the second level. He is running into bodies. He's got guys draped all over him. But it'll be second and goal from the 3-yard line. 8:45 to play in the ballgame. Dragons need to score it quickly here. And we'll see if they go fullback dive as they're in the eye. And good call by Jasper Peters into the end zone for the touchdown. He give him the headset, either that or the offensive coordinator's got the game on the broadcast here. So a 3-yard touchdown run for the Tigers, or for the Dragons. I'm sorry. Was that Roberson, I believe? 26. I think it's 26 or 28.
That was Savion, right?
Again, we do apologize. If it was 26, it'll be Savion Woods in the fullback spot. Again, we were just impressed. They actually listened to the play call from Mr. Peters back behind me. Rodriguez lining up for the extra point, holds down. The kick is going to be blocked, and everybody going to scramble for it and waste their breath. And the extra point is blocked. However, Dragons draw closer. They now trail 37-21, 8.5 to play the ball game. Take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to KROK 95.7.
I just opened my student checking account at Barksdale Federal Credit Union, and it was so easy. No minimum deposit, free debit card with reward points, and they waived my monthly fee for just showing my proof of enrollment. Even my younger siblings can open one with a parent. If you're a student, you gotta check this out. Score more perks. Open your student checking at Barksdale Federal Credit Union today. Check them out at bfcu.org.
Must be under the age of 25 and enrolled in school. Minors must have a joint parent or guardian on the account. Federally insured by NCUA.
Iota.
46-21.
Back here in Manny, got a score update from Kinder, 46-21 over Iota. And Kinder looking to get to 2-0. They'll have Rose Pine next week at home. And again, that is a team that went to the quarterfinals last year and lost to Union Parish, who we said it, they've been in the Dome about 5 years in a row. And had that was a pretty good game there. Tioga 56, Leesville 14. That went all but over. And we will have again on our sister station of this one, 105.7 Today's Country next week. We will be at Bobcat Stadium for Leesville Manny. So, again, I've got a good look at this Manny Tiger team that Leesville, they're going to have to stop the run because that is what they have done for the first 2 weeks. They have gashed their opponents. And this one fielded and a big hit, ball out. Football is out. This will be a massive break for the Dragons as they're going to call him down. Keelan Maxey is bailed out by the contact, down by contact. And that would have been, again, that would have been a massive break for the Dragons, the short field and the football. They trailed by 16 with plenty of time left. Instead, saved by the turf as Keelan Maxey, who got lit up right there around the 35, ball at the 37-yard line. We'll call it 37.
Well, we know they're going to run the ball.
Well, here's the goal here if you're DeRidder. You can't give up a touchdown on the first play.
No. They don't even know if they're going to run the ball. Just got to figure out where the ball's going to go.
You can tell that Dragon defense started to creep up. They'll toss to Thomas, make him stretch it out, and he's got a hole. He gets through to the first down marker and right at it. Again, just little resistance there, and he might have tried to qualify himself for the Oscars, taking the dive there after the little bump he received. No flag there for a late hit. Gain of 9. That's a gain of 10, sir. First down. They'll move the chains. No, it's not. They're moving the chains.
No, yeah.
PA guy is not aware. First down and 10. Ball sits at the 47. A 10-yard run for Mr. Thomas, who, again, he has been electric again this week for the Tigers. At time looks like a little miscommunication and kind of a break there. It's back to Romine all over it again. I think it might have been a misdirection play. Kind of both players went the wrong way. I think quarterback Cox reversed out, and then Thomas took a counter step, and they kind of ran into each other. And Paxton Romine, the beneficiary of a TFL there, so that kind of pushes Manny behind the chains. A 3-yard loss. 7:20 to play in the ball game. DeRidder trails by 15, 37-21. They need a stop, and they need it quickly. No more first downs here on this drive. If you're Manny, you are content with just bleeding the clock and moving the chains. Camden Bell out wide, top of the formation, near the DeRidder sideline. Too tight, they'll go to Thomas. And good tackle at the line of scrimmage. He'll fall forward he'll get the loss back, get back to the original line of scrimmage, and a yard after. So a big third down play here for the Dragons. Ball sits at the 48. Gain of 4.
Big play.
45 to play in the ball game. Yeah, the Dragons got to get a stop here. Because you don't want to get the first. First of all, it's 3rd and 9. And second of all, first down would pretty much start to end it. We got Ed Nakar in the Dome here. That game, so it started at 8:15 or 9:15. They had the first game before it, which was a pretty good one. 3rd and 9, play action, bringing pressure. He's wide open, and that's going to be a touchdown. Play action, fake to perfection. Jonas Hendrickson beats the secondary of the Dragons, and he was wide open. Again, DeRidder selling out. They don't convert, but they don't stop the 3rd down and 9. A touchdown pass from Kellen Cox to Jonas Hendrickson. And that might be the dagger with 6:19 to play. It's 43-21, point after charge pending.
And you really don't blame the Dragons for selling out.
No, but on 3rd and 9,
I know.
That's the perfect time to run the play action. And again, that's easier said up here in the booth. But you got to stay home if you're the safety. You can't buy it on the play action.
That was a good call.
And especially a guy who's burned you a couple of times for some big plays. He gets another there. Henderson adds to his touchdown total. They'll line up for 2 in a split-back formation here. Oh, never mind, it's the offset. They'll toss to Thomas, and he is wrestled and thrown down. And could have been a taunting penalty. Dayton Scott, a little extracurricular celebration, but, sir, it's 43-21. Just head back to the sideline. You stop the play, take a 30-second timeout, You're listening to KROK 95.7.
Iberia Comprehensive Community Health Center, Inc. strives to provide comprehensive health care to everyone, offering medical services to communities throughout Louisiana. They are proud to announce the opening of their newest health care center, coming to DeRidder this fall. DeRidder Community Health Center will be offering family medicine services at 427 North Pine Street, Suite A, DeRidder. For more information, visit their website, icchc.org.
That game was over in the first quarter. Back here in Manny, where another big play for the Tigers. This time, it is through the air. We don't say that too often. Yeah, just 29 passing yards last week, Mike. That was 53 on the play there to Jonas Hendrickson, and on the kickoff, couldn't tell if it goes out of bounds because the defensive player's tent is popped up right there from the 30 to the 25, and it was not out of bounds. The Dragons do have it, or at least I don't see a flag, but I also don't see the ball. So, again, it just kind of disappeared down there by the tent. 43-21, Manny leads with 6:15 to play in this one, and again, DeRidder has been burned by the big play a few times tonight. Hendrickson's had a couple himself, and that one will be at the 19. Again, had no clue because couldn't see it. We also don't know who scored that touchdown earlier. We got to figure. I have to get on the huddle tape there, and might not be able to. Parmley, is it quick to the fullback? I believe that was the man who scored the touchdown most recently for the Dragons, Savion Woods. Oh, and a fumble. So a late whistle, and those are bad to worse, as that'll be a fumble. Manny recovers. Back on offense go the Tigers. One play, another turnover, which did not happen much last week, but also you were getting turnovers on defense. You are now -1 in the turnover margin. We'll take a 30-second timeout for the hydration break. Manny with the football and the lead after turnover. You're listening to 95.7 KROK.
Football season at Benoit Motors, we're here to help you avoid the fumble and cheer every drive with unbeatable deals across all your favorite brands. Nissan, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Ford, Chevrolet, and GMC. Whether you're looking for a tough Ram to tackle any job, a sleek Nissan to drive the field, or a Ford or Chevy ready to rush through your day, Benoit Motors has the winning lineup. Don't drop the ball on savings. Our prices are touchdown worthy, and our service is championship level. So gear up and head to Benoit Motors, and let's make this season one to cheer about. BuyBenoit.com. With Benoit, every drive's a victory.
Backfield as tailback, fullback got the football, but that's because Jay Cooper's probably worn down. I mean, again, a sophomore. Physically he looks the part, but again, still young, and man, he's just taking a beating tonight. And it's probably smart to just kind of spell him there late. Again, not trying to fumble, and obviously, Savion wasn't trying to put it on the turf. He's already scored one, but again, just hasn't gone the Dragons' way tonight as the turnover will give it right back to Manny on the Dragon 19. Again, Dragons played so well last week. They ran into a buzzsaw here tonight, and they've had to do it shorthanded. In the power formation, new running back in there as possibly Daniel Thomas and Hendrickson's work is done this time. I can pull the roster out here. Darius Stills, number 21 back there. He had a little burst. And he got the touch there. 5.5 minutes to play in the ball game. As Hendrickson was in there, he comes off a little gimpy, so you play the Lumps Cats next week, you're up 43-21. You kind of got this one in the bag as I try to be going to those guys as little as possible. You'll need them fresh for next week as you go on the road. Again, Manny looking to be 2-0. Last year winless for the Tigers. They'll hand it off again. New running back this time. I don't believe that was Stills. It is Stills. They go left first carry, and then this time up behind the right guard, and it'll be a good carry to set up a third down and a yard. Football at the 10-yard line. They need the 9 of the Dragons. 4:55 and rolling is the clock. A couple of subs coming in here for the Tigers. Evan Wilson, who had a grab earlier in the game, he runs off, one of the receivers. They've got Keelan Maxey out there scrambling to get into the wingback position. Still in the backfield. Cox under center. 3rd and 1. They toss it to Stills. He's looking to get outside, and he is leveled. He got the first down, but that's about it. I believe Thompson came up and laid the wood. But it does move the chains, and more importantly, the clock. It's 1.5 minutes to play. That was a heck of a tackle there, Mike.
Yep. All I can see is side of the wall.
Well, you're leaning down, too. You know, I got to stand, but I'm hanging on by a thread.
You're hanging on.
Well, look.
Still got his shirt on.
I still got my shirt on. We appreciate you if you're still with us again. This one hadn't gone the Dragons' way. You said it. I'm staring at the wall. You know what? You're listening to the broadcast, too.
Well, and look, send a shout-out to all our sponsors.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you. A lot of people didn't come tonight. Know you listening to us.
They'll toss it to Field. He's looking to bounce it out to the near side. He's going to be wrapped up for the moment, still on his feet, falling forward inside the 3 to the 2. They'll mark him. Clock moves. 3:46 to play here in the ball game. Tigers will sub on another body. Jonas Henderson running out there. Off comes Rylan Lee. So again, the Dragons next week will take the trip to Newton, Texas.
Crossing the Sabine River.
And I was told this summer they've got a brand new press box over there, so it should be accommodated. Hopefully it's got AC. It's brand new. They'll toss it to Stills. He's at the 2, and he falls into the end zone after the contact. Touchdown, Tigers. And they have 49 on the board. A successful point after try, regardless if it's 1 or 2. We'll give them half 100. And again, it's just been that kind of night, Mike.
Yeah. Just too many people hurt. And there's just not a whole lot we could do.
Nope, and then you couple that with a couple of missed opportunities on offense, some turnovers, the snap down, the kick is up, and it is not good, so Manny will be stuck on 49. But if you're one of the Tiger fans in the audience, you got a 28-point lead with 3:07 to play. Dragons getting it after this. Take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to KROK 95.7.
Attention! Champion Homes Leesville is hiring skilled craftsmen to join their expanding team. Whether you're an electrician, plumber, welder, or mechanic, they have a spot for you. Benefits include company match 401k, paid vacation and holidays, medical, prescription, dental, vision, and life insurance. Still not convinced? Get this. They offer weekly production bonuses and a chance to be entered into weekly drawings of $500 with perfect work attendance. And you're eligible to purchase a Champion home at retail cost after 1 year of employment. Don't overthink it. Visit championhomes.com to apply today.
In Manny, where we are trying to get out of here alive, 3:07 to play. This one's going to be returned by Montgomery. He is leveled. Hit up high there. He crosses the 40. Down to Montgomery. Pretty good return, but he paid the price there. Dragons will take over a decent field position. Again, pleasure. If you're still with us, Sean Larkin, Mr. Mike Giles to my right. He can see the field now. They're playing here at midfield for you. You're not getting up. I don't blame you. We've had no AC since the jump. And I'm going to have to take 2 showers tonight.
It was hot.
I don't even know. I may be too exhausted to go in the morning. I may just sleep the whole time. Dragons will have it at the 44.
Well, the Dragons have been satisfied just to run the ball and not throw it at all.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get out of here healthy because it hasn't been a healthy start to a couple of weeks. Grant Cooper getting a carry here. And he, again, had a touchdown last week. He's still fighting hard there. And he'll be stopped at the 48, so a pretty good start there. Good carry for Grant, who had, again, a touchdown, a fumble recovery, and an interception last week. He's doing it all. And again, it just hasn't been much of that tonight. 2.5 to play in the ball game. And the Dragons will be on the road at Newton. You can catch it right here on KROK 95.7. Manny will be in Leesville with me. They'll throw it out into the flats. That catch is made. And still on his feet, making guys miss. Walker up across the first down marker. Again, he got wrapped up, but was able to shake out of it there. I mean, Peyton Hayden was the guy that tried to wrangle him up top.
And he's done a good job this week.
Yeah, and look, he's had a couple of catches tonight.
Most of the passes have been to Merriweather.
Yeah, you gotta take advantage of your opportunities, whether they're minimal or not. And he's done a good job there, especially a good run after the catch. It'll be a first down for the Dragons. 2 minutes on the dot here left in this one. Now handed to Grant Cooper. He runs forward and gains about 6, up across the 40 to the 39. He had a show of a burst of speed there.
And one thing about it, Sean, they're playing hard.
Yeah, and look, you have to.
They had given up.
You can't show bad body language here because, look, the going's been tough already through 2 weeks. You survived the wave, and everything's better when you're up by 30. Last week you got to just kind of stay with it and just hope you can start having some things roll your way. 2nd and 4 after the Cooper run. They'll go to the air. Parmley launches one deep. He's got Merriweather back there. He is getting absolutely just dealt with on that sideline. No whistle. And there was so much contact. This time Oxley gets away with it. He's had a pretty good night. Had the penalty earlier. Should have got one there. Again, they're ready to head to the showers, I'm sure the referees are. He ain't calling this now. Yeah, back judge he's been chilling over there. I think he's over there by the concession stand on the far sideline. He is just waiting on his moment. They'll hand it off to Cooper. He is picked up and thrown backwards, about a yard short of the first down marker. That'll set up a 4th down with 1 minute 6 seconds to play, and the clock is rolling. Just whatever you do, don't call a timeout, Coach. Let it roll here. Again, I will have, like I said before, DeRidder's at Newton. You can hear it right here on 95.7. As for me, I will have a Friday night game on today's Country 105.7 for the first time this year. I'll have these Manning Tigers travel to Leesville. And that'll be a first down carry again. 39 seconds to play. DeRidder doesn't have to snap it again if they don't want to. But this game last year at Leesville, or at Manning against Leesville, did not go well. That game was over at half. Xavier Ford had 3 carries for 98 yards. Could have probably ran for 698 yards if he wanted. It'll be a different story next week because I've been pretty impressed with this Manny Tiger team through 2 weeks, what I've seen. 1st and 10, they'll hand it to Grant Cooper. He's got a big hole, breaks the tackle. He's got a man on his back. He'll be wrestled down inside the 10. A nice couple of carries here for Grant Cooper, and I'm not going to call it garbage time because, look, you may be without a couple of guys next week. Grant Cooper may be your second running back, and he is taking advantage of the opportunity here, again, playing on defense. And if you're the Dragons, at least make it look a little bit better here, trying to punch it in. With 9 seconds left, and it looks like they may just let this one roll down. And again, 5 seconds left. Teams are lining up at midfield, and the horn will sound, and that'll be the last play from scrimmage. And the Manny Tigers will get to 2-0 as they win their home opener 49-21 over the Dragons. Again, the Dragons just let the clock bleed out there, and both teams lining up here at midfield to shake hands. Again, oh, never mind. Wait a minute. Manny's defense still on the field. Look, everybody's ready to go home. He's going off. Oh, my goodness. Never mind, folks. We'll keep it right here. DeRidder calls a timeout. Goodness gracious. Going to show a little bit of urgency if you're going to get to the line with 14. They'll call a timeout, maybe trying to make this one look a little bit better. So I do apologize. Everybody was lined up midfield. It looked like last week the Baltimore Ravens, they were in the locker room last week before the halftime. They had to get them back out. So the Dragons have possibly one more play to run.
Sean was getting in the core.
Did you see the timeout? Oh, I was packing up, man. Back judge ain't made a call all night. He sees that one, though, as we're trying to escape out of here before I lose any more water weight. So first and goal from the 10. That was, again, a great run by Grant Cooper. He showed a good burst, broke a couple of tackles. 14 seconds left on the game clock, so we'll see how many plays we get left. They'll hand it to Cooper. Breaks a tackle, breaks another, and I'm going to be a little upset there. That's the last play we run. We could have left that one in the playbook, and that'll be it. Again, the clock runs, and the horn finally sounds. Could have used the extra 20 seconds there. But the Manny Tigers go to 2-0 here at home. They win the home opener. Dragons fall to 1-1. 49-21 our final score. We are not going to keep you too long because, again, I am dying up here with the heat. Mike, tough one for the Dragons tonight. Got to get back at it next week.
Well, I'll tell you what. I've heard a lot about you. Watched you and Chaz do what you do. You do an excellent job. Derek and I are going to have a hard time filling in for you, but we're going to do the best we can.
Yeah, look, we're going
to Newton.
And you're going to Newton.
Not everybody gets to go to Newton.
No, they don't. Everybody doesn't get to play an out-of-state game. And look, we said it. Through 2 weeks, it ain't been great. Maybe I'm the bad luck because we've had no scoreboard and clock and now no AC here in week 2. So I think y'all are going to be good in that new press box over in Newton. Again, they'll face Newton. That game last year was just an absolute barn burner. The Dragons going to have to be picking up the pieces here as they lose another key player on offense. I mean, look, it's got to stop eventually, but I think you saw some things late here. Grant Cooper took advantage of the opportunity, so you may need him next week. We just hope Javon's okay, man, because he showed a burst. It was looking like he was going to pick up right where he left off last week, and instead, he goes down early. But it was all, man, you got to credit the Tigers, man. They've looked night and day since last year. They go to Logan Sport. They run all over them.
Well.
They ran the ball tonight, big plays. They'll be in Leesville. Again, you can hear the DeRidder Newton game next Friday night here on KROK 95.7. Again, I've got to look at the Manny Tigers tonight. I'll have them on today's Country 105.7. Next Friday, they will have the Wampus Cats in Leesville. But for Mike Giles, Jasper Peters back here, Derek Lee behind us, the hot press box here in Manny, I hope to never see you again. I'm Sean Larkin. Have a great night. Join us for the Gridiron Gumbo Show on Tuesdays on today's Country 105.7. We'll talk all things high school, college pro. We'll recap this game and more. But have a good weekend, and we will see you next week. You've been listening to DeRidder Dragons football on KROK 95.7.
Mid-South Forestry Equipment in Manny, formerly Patrick Miller Tractor, would like you to know that we're still providing the same great service that our customers have come to depend on. Our name may have changed, but our commitment to the community is still the same. We look forward to continuing to service all your Tiger Cat, Kubota, Land Pride, and Bad Boy needs. Stop in and say hi or give us a call at 318-256-5686 for more information. That's Mid-South Forestry Equipment in Manny, formerly Patrick Miller Tractor.
KROK, Channel 957.